Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather round, gather round. Sit back, relax, and please stay in your seats. Kick your feet up and grab some popcorn. Oh, and of course, lest we not forget, enjoy the show. Come on.
Hello. Hello, chat. How y'all doing? Did I hear about the new Google Translate glitch? No. Why? Is this a joke? I feel like it's a joke coming on. Minister Bew comes to reach new mobile boundary reset for the next 5 years. Let's go, Nomad. Let's go. Hello, chat. How you doing today? Good evening. Good evening. Good afternoon. Hello. If you do English to French for the number 79, it sounds like what you should do for the rest of your life. Huh? Huh? Hey, Margot. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing? Hope you're well. Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. Hello. Just listen to Chaos and nothing can go wrong. That is very true. Very true. English to French, then play the French. Okay. I'll do it after. I'm not doing it on stream. I'll do it after the stream. All right. Chat, we have a plan for today. Okay? We have a plan for today. Today, the plan is, right? Destiny servers are down. Okay? Destiny servers are down for today, so no Destinies for them. I'm going to try and get on later today. So, is the plan to cancel Microsoft? Why? What's happened to... Doesn't trust? No, it's not that I don't trust you. It's that I'll do it after the stream because I have a plan. I have a set structure for today's stream. And you're ruining it! I'll do it after. Yeah, Destiny servers are down. But I'll try and get on later this afternoon. So I want to try Iron Banner. So... what we're going to do, right? We are going to play... Super Auto Pets. Hey, Vibo. Hello. We're going to play Super Auto Pets.
Our modest fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Apparently I have one sub according to my count. Margot, thank you for the 30 months of subbing. Praise the sub. Exclamation point some of the chat. Thank you, Margot. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, is this nonsense? Hello, Sofa. Why is some camera broken? I don't know. All right. I don't know why it's always broken, but it is. Okay. We're at 75. 75. We're at 75 right now. So yeah, the plan is we're gonna play Super Auto Pets, and while we're playing, right, in like the background in the corner, I'm gonna have Bife's Destiny Lore video playing, so we can listen to that while we play. That's the plan, okay? I'm gonna be completely honest, so far you are 100% right. I haven't. I'm gonna be completely honest, so you are 100% right. All right, 1000% right. All right, I haven't done that. Refresh. Thank you. Pow! There we go. There we go. All right. My internet seems to be okay today, so that's a plus. All right. So get rid of that. Let's fix Destiny now. I wish I could. I'm gonna be honest. I wish I could. I want to play too, you know.
Welcome back. Your steadfast loyalty is greatly appreciated.
Thank you for keeping up with our bullshit in chat. And I hope that with this the sub count won't break again. If so, I'm sorry, Pan.
Sorry, Pan. I love it. Rose, thank you for the 2 months sub. Thank you for the sub. Exclamation point, some of the chat. Thank you, bud. No, it's fixed. Look at that. It's changed. It's fixed. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. 2 months. Let's go. We're good. All right. So let me get this set up first. Play arena, right? So where should let me turn off display. Let me do it as game capture. You played this a lot since that shut off. I have not played this yet, so we shall see what happens. So, right, where's YouTube? Let me get the video. Okay, it has... Oh, wait, this is actually perfect. Wait, okay, let me have a look. Give me a second. All right, let's try this. Let me put it over here. Do that. And then window capture. The battle sign, honestly, in the background. Battle. Battle. Prepare to battle. Hey, you want to fight? Prepare to fight. I'll put it like right here. Is that big enough, chat? Or do we need it bigger? I would say bigger, right?
Greetings everyone, my name is Byfear.
Hello.
So if you're watching this video, perhaps a friend sent it to you and told
Yeah,
you
me.
to watch it. Maybe it's because you were recommended my channel.
Have I given up on New World? No, I haven't given up on New World. No,
massive
I've just had a lot of
4-hour
other stuff that I'm
complete
playing
story
right
of
now.
Destiny video and realized that was
And plus,
way too
I've heard
long
that
for you, or
New World is very
realized
much
that
broken
I
right
have
now.
a problem with using all this complex language that isn't exactly explained in that video.
So
Maybe the YouTube algorithm gods delivered you here to these shores. Regardless, welcome. Hopefully,
Alright,
the one
here we are.
thing that most of you have in common is that you want to know more about Destiny. If that's
There
the
you go.
case, hopefully this series of videos is for you. We're going to be doing these videos about once a week leading up to Witch Queen, and in each episode, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the basics behind a specific part of the game's story.
there you go.
At the end of the series, perhaps I'll combine them all into a sort of mega video series that the algorithm seems to love so
Alright.
much. Either way,
I break everything.
let's
Yes,
see.
I do.
Today, we're going to be covering the absolute basics of the story in Destiny, so that anyone who's totally new can get an idea of what they're
Right.
initially jumping into. I'm also going to cover a
What
lot
do
of
I
the
do?
terminology, definitions, and
Buy a
definitive
pet for
events
3 gold.
that you're going to see or hear about in Destiny, because honestly, this stuff is going to go over your head otherwise. There's a lot of famous battles that I'm going to go ahead and list too, because yeah, that stuff is all very important to the overall history of things. For some of you veteran players, some of this is going to be pretty self-explanatory, but some of it might not be. Either way, this series is really aimed at completely new players. And
Here you
people
go,
who are
chat. You're
thinking
welcome.
of jumping into Destiny, want to understand the story behind it, but don't necessarily know all of the language and the unique lexicon that's been
This is
built
perfect
up
for you.
over 7 years. So if you're looking to get an introduction to Destiny, hey, this
Okay.
video is for you. And again, if you are a veteran,
Name
there's a
your
chance that you may
team.
have missed things. I know plenty of people who are phenomenal
Breaking
PvP
stream
and
once again.
PvE
Wait, what's
players
broken?
who just don't know the story and lore behind things, and now are starting to feel a little bit, you know, in need of catching up. So regardless of who you are, let's go ahead and talk about the story of Destiny. and
Let's.
The basics of the story.
Balls!
So, if you want
Magical
to understand
balls!
Destiny, you first need to know about the light and the dark. These are two of the primal forces in Destiny's universe, and some sources claim that they existed before the universe or time itself had begun. The light and darkness
Shush game.
are sources of power, but behind each of them are entities. In the most broad and generally accepted terms, they're commonly
What I'm going to do, chat, as well, I'm going to talk, but I'm going to keep it relatively low and short, just so you can listen to the video. Okay? But I will engage in conversation. So what are you
as
doing
the
this game? Never heard of it?
Traveler and the Pyramids. The
You ever played
Traveler
Darkest Dungeons?
is a
I think it's
great
like that.
sphere that has traveled across the universe for untold billions of years, uplifting civilizations to great technological heights. The Pyramids, which are sometimes referred to as the Black
Okay.
Fleet, is the force of darkness that hunts the Traveler. Commonly, the Traveler will flee from the Black Fleet or any forces of darkness, unfortunately abandoning the uplifted civilizations in its path to their grisly fate. This cycle of the Traveler uplifting a civilization for it only to be destroyed by
Wait,
the
was that it?
darkness has been going
thought that
on
was
for
tutorial.
untold millennia, until eventually the Traveler reached our solar system. After uplifting humanity and after a period of rapid
I thought that was
progress known as the Golden
tutorial.
Age, the Pyramids once again followed the Traveler to Sol, our solar system. The arrival of the Pyramids began the collapse, a period where human civilization was cast into ruin and our worlds were broken and burned. This was effectively an apocalypse. Destiny is set in the post-apocalyptic era of this. It appeared that we were once again going through this terrible historical cycle of the darkness pursuing the Traveler and burning whatever civilization it had uplifted to the ground. But this time,
How many
instead
times
of
can I
fleeing,
roll?
something different happened. Reports of what actually occurred
Oh,
aren't
use
clear.
gold.
Almost
Okay.
none of them exist in the lore whatsoever. But the most commonly accepted story is that the Traveler sacrificed itself to protect us. There's a few other stories lingering out there about various other parties interfering, looking at Rasputin, which we'll
Pretty
talk
much
about
Rose, yeah.
later, but for the moment, forget about all of those, they're not proven. The most commonly accepted story is that the Traveler sacrificed itself in a bid to save us. It
So,
defeated the darkness.
do I just
but
let
in
it
the
auto?
battle,
Is that it?
also
Just see what
suffered near
happens?
total damage and was left mostly dead. In its last moments, it released
Oh.
the Ghosts, Small autonomous drones with as much personality as people, and the ghosts went out into the solar system and searched for those amongst the long dead that could wield the power of the Traveler's Light. Whilst those who rise are known as light bearers generally, almost all of them nowadays make their way to humanity's final bastion, the Last City, and it is here that they take up the mantle and title of Guardian. Guardians can be resurrected by their ghosts infinitely, as long as the ghost is not killed and as long as they still have clear access to the Traveler's Light. But the unique thing about Guardians is that they have
To
no
friend
knowledge
behind?
of their
No,
past
why would I do
lives.
that?
Some Guardians, who are very lucky, such as Anna Bray, are able to find clues as to who they were before upon their newly returned to life body. You know, it could be...
If you guys have any questions... Oh, oops. There we go. If you guys have any questions about the video, by the way, while we're going through this, let me know. I'll try my best. Make it just a tiny bit bigger. There we go.
Bray are able to find clues as to who they were before upon their newly returned to life body. You know, it could be something along the lines of a Guardian wakes up and they realize they have a lab coat and an ID badge on, and if that's the case, they know who they were previously. But most Guardians are returned into their second
Hey,
life
Katie.
without any knowledge of who they are or once
How you
were.
doing?
And for reasons that aren't particularly well stated, most Guardians don't tend to go ahead and then pursue information about their past lives. In many instances, it's seen as being better to live this new life because you can't be two people. The indication is that whilst of course you can't retain any of the experiences of your past life, your core personality is retained, and so to an extent, you are mostly the same person. But this is an area of lore and story that's still very unexplored.
So how do I sell?
In Destiny and Destiny
It
2,
says sell.
you play as one of these Guardians, your own character. Guardians are sorted into 3 classes: Hunters, Titans, and Warlocks.
Hunter's
You're
the
also
best.
capable as playing of one of
After you
3
buy it, oh,
races,
okay.
namely Human, Awoken, and Exo. Whilst your choice in race and class is often personal, there are gameplay differences that come along with class choices, and sometimes there are dialogue differences for certain races and for certain classes. Oftentimes these will be small and insignificant
fucked,
and
you
won't
stupid
have
dog!
massive impacts on the quests that you do. In fact, I know of almost no difference in class choice that would actually impact the way that a quest ends. Generally speaking though, the world around you will react to the kind of class and race choices that you make and will treat you appropriately. Warlocks, for example, will often be addressed for their wisdom and arcane knowledge, whereas Titans are more often addressed for their martial discipline and brute strength. While interacting with certain areas of the solar system, Exos and Awoken characters in particular will sometimes hear alternate lines of dialogue based on their race. Ultimately,
Good
with
night,
3
Kelsey.
character
Hope your
slots, it's common
exam
to
goes
choose
okay.
one of each class and one of each race amongst veteran players that run 3 characters. We'll go into all the classes and races in much more detail in a later video, but for now, here's a brief description that I think should suffice. As far as classes are concerned, all Guardian classes are capable of exceptional combat prowess, and so they are more broadly defined by their general character traits.
Okay.
Titans are often seen as the most martial and disciplined of the 3 classes. They organize themselves into orders that have often been expressed in purpose, such as the Pilgrim
Our
Guard,
modest
whose purpose
fellowship
was to guide
expands.
refugees.
Praise the sub.
Katie, gifting the 5 subs. Thank you, Katie, for gifting the 5 subs. I appreciate it. Thank you. If you got some subs, nope. If you got some emotes, there we go. Be sure to thank Katie. Exclamation sub in the chat. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Thank you. Legit. Hello. How you doing, bud?
To the last safe city, or the Stoneborn Order, who defend the city's walls. Titans are tactical, but often brutish, and are known to get up close and personal, charging into combat in some cases literally head first. A famous phrase of a Titan is that, up close, a fist is better than any gun.
That is
And
true.
commonly, that's what Titan
That is
strategies
true,
relate
though.
to and rely on. Hunters are, in comparison, far less organized and far more independent. Hunters often wander and scout the wilds beyond the city in solitude, but will sometimes form into gangs or posses. Some famous hunter posses, such as the Six Coyotes, contain multiple legendary
Fuck about
guardians.
fish. Oh, you fucking
Hunters crave
kangaroo
not only
bitch.
independence, but adventure, and will commonly
Uh-oh.
embark on exploratory missions across the system, bringing back tales of bounties collected, treasures found, and great
Shit.
monsters slain. Their combat styles are distinctly survivalist, but rely on tried and tested tools to get the job done. Bladed weapons and guns are equally common in a hunter's arsenal, but
Hey,
nothing
Alan.
defines
Hey,
a hunter
man.
more than a strong, dependable hunter's knife. Warlocks are concerned above all with knowledge. Whilst all guardians can interact with the light upon their resurrection and use it to channel their greatest powers, warlocks are the ones able to tap into the most primal of the traveler's powers. Their power comes not from the fist or the blade, but from the light itself. Where a titan will punch, a warlock will summon a kinetic force in the palm of their hands
See you later,
and
Katie.
repel their foes.
Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate
Warlocks
it. Thank
organize
you.
themselves into a variety of orders that tend to embrace philosophical views on the universe. They can vary wildly in practices. Some of the wildest amongst them include an order known as the
modest
Thanatonauts,
fellowship
literally the
expands.
explorers of death, if we
Praise
translate
the
that
sun.
out of Latin. Thanatonauts will
Unbelievable
search for
gifted a
visions
tier
of the
1 sub
future
to
and hidden knowledge.
Ruellen12. They have given 89 gift subs in the channel.
89. Fuck. Katie, thank you for gifting us up to Ellen. Ellen, enjoy your emos. Thank you.
In death itself, voluntarily killing themselves and then being rezzed, having been given a glimpse into some potential form of knowledge. You're unlikely to see a warlock using brute force to get their way. Their combat style often relies on anything from shamanistic elements of the world upon which they walk to ethereal grace
Oh.
gifted by the light of the sun in order to fight against their foes. A warlock can summon an artificial singularity or knit one's wounds back together with the purest of light. They are often known to pursue knowledge to dangerous ends though, and whilst there are many fabled warlocks, most of them are fabled for views or practices that upset the status quo in some way. As for the three species, humans are as you would expect them to be, albeit there are some significant advancements that were made during the Golden Age. The Traveller uplifted our civilization,
Hey, Vivi.
and not
How
only
you doing, bud?
enlightened us and made us generally more kind to each other, but also made some pretty
Wait, what?
significant benefits that we can see
Oh,
much
Katie.
more
Thank you for
tangibly.
gifting another
Human
sub to
beings in this day and age of even the
Savalin.
post-apocalyptic era that we live in
Savalin,
now,
enjoy your emails.
in
Thank you, Katie.
Destiny's universe are more intelligent.
I appreciate it.
And, as a general rule of thumb, have
See you later,
a
Sofa.
longer
Hope everything's good.
lifespan. The Golden Age and the effects of it are quoted to have tripled the human lifespan.
I'm good, Vivi. I'm glad you're well.
Thus,
Thank you.
human beings are far more durable than they used to be. But our numbers are dwindling, and our last safe bastion, the Lost City, is the only place that we can still truly call home outside of a few settlements in the wild. The Awoken and the Exos are both post-human. That is to say that all Awoken and Exos were once humans, but they came into being in a very different manner and are now no longer human, but still carry the same traits that we might all recognize. The Awoken are humans that have been put under the effect of a fusion of light and dark, who came from an artificial singularity created during the collapse of human civilization. Because of the way that time passed in the singularity, the Awoken civilization within was allowed to advance to unprecedented heights, and was able to exist in relative peace for millions, if not billions, of years, whilst in real time outside of the singularity, it had been hardly decades or even years. Eventually, the Awoken people were split into two. Some of them stayed in their home in the singularity, which they call the Distributory. Others were led by Queen Mara Sov and returned into Sol, and when she arrived back in Sol, she founded the Kingdom of the Reef, which is located in the asteroid belt of our system, lying between Jupiter and Mars. The many fleeing ships in the collapse never made it further than this border, and so many of the hulks and wrecks found in
Right,
the
fuck
large
it, let's go.
asteroids were convenient for starting a new kingdom. They held many resources, and oftentimes could
Chat, I hope you're listening to this video because I'm going to do a pop quiz at the end of this. Okay?
be pillaged for material. When they left their old home, their queen Mara Sov also noticed that strange powers had begun to manifest in both herself and her people. The exact reason for this strange magic is unknown, but it appears that it is strengthened when the Awoken people are closer to Mara Sov herself. and she is the most gifted user of this power compared to all the others of her people. The Exos
Why don't I get
are
a
the result
whale?
of a series of experiments and studies conducted by the Clovis Bray Corporation in the Golden Age. The hope of the Clovis Bray Corporation and of their
I'd think
founder,
it was-
Clovis Bray, was to create immortal humans who had their consciousnesses transferred into digital exominds that could live in exo bodies. Essentially, human
Aw.
beings being turned into robots that still had their perfect personalities.
You know, I'm going to
The
restart.
result of these experiments were attained at great cost
Let me
to
restart.
many, but the unscrupulous corporation and its founder for which it was named didn't care. The Exos are known for having a number after their names, such as Saint 14, Lakshmi 2, or Banshee 44. This number indicates the number of times that they have been rebooted, an unfortunate necessity as the process of preserving the human mind within an Exo isn't all perfect. To cut through a lot of complicated jargon, the human minds at the hearts of the Exos all realize that they aren't actually in a human body, and this causes trauma and disassociation. Exos now can be found alongside their human counterparts in the Last City, and are a relatively uncommon sight, but people wouldn't
Aw,
necessarily
give me
question the
smooth balls,
Exo
come
or
on.
see them as some otherworldly oddity. Exos were still seen in the Golden Age
The clean
after all.
pants.
The Exos often dream of the deep stone crypt where they were born, but at the heart of every Exo lies a dark and terrible secret that until recently was not known or truly uncovered. As a guardian in Destiny, your broad responsibility, regardless of whether you're a hunter, titan, or warlock, fighting as a human, awoken, or Exo, is generally going to be to
I wanna
fight
go
back the
flawless.
forces of the darkness that threaten the Lost City. The forces that we have faced contain many strange and deadly foes, but the broadest defined categories of enemies that you'll be facing are the Fallen, Hive, Cabal, Vex, Taken, and Scorn. I'll go ahead and briefly explain each of these enemy factions in a bit more depth. They'll also have their own episodes in this series, but for now,
Squeaky
these are the
housewives.
basics that you absolutely need to know about each of these enemy factions. Let's go ahead and get started with the Fallen. The term Fallen is actually slang created by humanity, a colloquialism that was born out of our first
I'm
few
fucking trash,
encounters
dude.
with this group of six-limbed aliens.
Put
More
it over
commonly
here.
nowadays, it's seen for the slur that it is. Sometimes known as spider pirates before the colloquialization of their name, the true name of their species is the Elixni, and they were the last species that the Traveler blessed with its light. They used to control a multi-system empire of sorts before their equivalent of the collapse occurred. They refer to this event as the Whirlwind, and whilst most of the fallen houses fell at their homeworld of Reese, some of the noble houses followed the Traveler through the darkness of space and arrived at our solar system after the collapse. They are a people that has suffered greatly. Once divided into proud and noble houses back on their homeworld, the Elixni are now often little more than thieves or warlords. The fallen houses are now more akin to pirate gangs, and their noble old ways are remembered by only a few remaining Elixni. The Fallen have an incredible talent for improvising weaponry and using scrap and salvage around them to create their implements of war. Their innate understanding of machinery means that they're often accompanied
I don't
by
get
mechanical
it.
constructs, anything from small
I don't get what I'm looking at here.
medium-sized servitors, all the way up to massive combat mechs, such
Right,
as brigs or walkers, all of which are internally
Wait.
autonomous and do not need a commander or
Okay.
instructor or a crew
So that
inside
goes there
them
and then
to
that
function.
goes there.
The Fallen used to be humanity's most common adversary after the collapse, but in recent years, relations with some Elixni houses have changed. The House of Light in particular, run by a
I
Elixni
think I
known
just
as
screwed myself there.
Mithrax, is dedicated to serving and protecting the
Nah, I fucked
Traveler,
up there.
and now stands with humanity in the Last City.
Freeze
You
the
can find
horses?
them
What does
in the
freeze
Elixni
do?
Quarter if you're playing the game around about the time when this video is being released. In the recent season of The Splicer, we saw the story of them integrating into the city, something monumental in story terms, as it's long been speculated whether humanity might be able to make allies out of the Elixni. They are not all enemies, but should you encounter a Fallen in the wild, expect them to shoot first. Not all houses are allies, and nowadays you can commonly find them in purple garb, flying
Right,
the
okay, I
banner
get
of
it.
the House of Dusk, a generalist house that is made up of the fractured forces of once great and noble houses, which does not have a great degree of structure. Those of you who should venture to Europa
Okay.
will encounter the fallen of the House of Salvation, an Elixni house that has explicitly allied itself and is making use of the darkness and its power. Next, we need to talk about the Hive. The Hive are an ancient force of beings that long ago made a pact with servants of darkness known as the Worm Gods. They were granted immortality and great power, but in exchange for these powers, something else was required of the Hive. Every Hive ingests one of the larvae of the Worm Gods, and that larvae is not consumed, it stays within the Hive, and carnage and destruction must be fed to it, or the worm will feed on its host. This is the price of their immortality. The destruction and carnage
Why
in
is
their
that fish so
wake
strong?
is required to keep them alive, and they venerate this process. They believe in the philosophy of the darkness, known as the sword logic,
Hey,
and they
Derpy.
have followed
How you
its
doing, bud?
principles almost without exception for billions of years.
We're beating on cute
They
animals
have
now.
put thousands of
Are we
species
now?
to
Yeah.
the torch and committed
Yeah.
genocides on a scale beyond reckoning, committing them
Tier
so
2
regularly
animals,
that they
okay.
apparently at one point became routine. The most powerful amongst them, known as their Ascendant Hive, are commonly referred to as gods and have godlike powers to match. Some of them are even capable of maintaining what is known as a throne world, meaning that if they die, they can be reborn in their own pocket dimension and can then return to live again. Chief amongst the Ascendant Hive were the three true Hive gods. They were the original three who made the pact with the Worm Gods. Their names were Oryx, the Great Navigator and Taken King, Savathun, the Witch Queen and God of Deception, and Shivu-Arath, the God of War. 6 years ago, we killed Oryx, the Taken King, and since then, the Hive has been in a state of unrest, with the other two major gods beginning to consolidate power amongst themselves. Savathun in particular is strange, because she has now broken away from the other Hive. Her and her brood now stand as a distinctly separate entity from the other Hive, and are being actively hunted by Shivu-Arath, the Worm Gods, and other forces of darkness. We will soon face that Lucent brood in the Witch Queen expansion, which comes along in February. And she represents not only the most intelligent foe that we've ever faced, but potentially the most powerful, having stolen the one
So wait,
thing
what-
that we believed the
Give me
Hive
a
would never wish
kangaroo.
to touch,
I want to see a
and
kangaroo.
that they could never even steal.
Swans.
The
Fuck.
power of the light. Next are the Cabal, a militaristic race of aliens hailing from the world of Torobatl. They have an empire that they've built through conquest and slaughter, and their closest human analogue is that of ancient Rome. Indeed, many of the names and practices of the Cabal reflect this. For example, on Torobatl, they had institutions such as an emperor who ruled over them, and legions that defended them. They take on captive and client species within their empire, and have been known to grind entire worlds to dust beneath their planet-crushing war
Food season, no.
machines.
True. How you
Each
doing,
Cabal
Derpy? Hope
easily
you're doing well.
dwarfs a
Welcome to the
human
stream.
in physical stature, and their military
22?
prowess has been ingrained into them for
What?
generations. Weighing in at 600 pounds and being easily up to 8 feet tall for smaller versions of the Cabal, they are capable of crushing almost any other
fuck
species
is
in
this?
terms of raw physical power. But as you'll soon understand, oftentimes that's not the only metric with which you measure power. If the Fallen are a shiv, the Cabal are a hammer. Unsubtle in their approach to warfare, and not known for diplomacy or grace, the Cabal are often used to fighting wars and winning them through attrition, wherever their legions find themselves. The oddest feature of the Cabal that we see on the battlefield today is probably that of the Scions, a former slave race that's now commonly found serving in the Cabal military as an augmenting force. Scions are smaller in physical stature to the other Cabal, but what they lack for in firepower and raw muscle is made up for in psionic power, the powers of the mind, which they can use to dazzling effect on the battlefield. They can lift a Guardian into the air with but a simple thought. Some really powerful Scions, known as Scion Flayers, have been even known to pull moons out of their natural orbits to threaten planets with them as weapons. The Cabal in most recent days have become desperate, though. After Dominus Gaul, their military dictator,
This is a good
failed
setup.
to secure the Light of the Traveler, and his Red Legion were repelled from the last city, the Cabal have been scattered, only
Fucking
to be
whale. God damn
reunited
it.
by Empress Keitel. Keitel's arrival in the system, however, was not a moment of conquest, but of survival. Desperate survival at that. She and her forces fled the Cabal homeworld of Toro Battle with the rest of her people, as Shivua Wrath,
I
the
don't
Hive
get
God of
what's
War,
going on.
came to claim the Cabal home
Don't
system.
get it.
Keitel has come to Sol with the intent of reuniting her forces with the lost Scout Legions and the Red Legion that they will one day use to retake their home. A tentative armistice currently exists between Keitel's Legion and the Lost City, but she does not yet have full consolidated control over all the Cabal remnants stuck in Sol. Many Red Legion loyalists refuse to flock to her banner, and will still engage us on sight. If you see any Cabal, regardless of where they are, assume that they are hostile. Next are the Vex. The Vex are often mistaken as just exceptionally advanced robots, but they're actually better described as a Gestalt consciousness or hive mind formed from microscopic organisms that just so happen to pilot the brass-framed combat mechs that we engage with.
No.
The Vex to this day are still somewhat poorly understood in comparison to other alien factions, but we have made key discoveries that have helped us to understand them as time has progressed. As a collective, the Vex are
Friend
singularly
summon,
focused
give it
on their
+1
goal of
attack.
survival, a goal that has them stretching the limits of possibility by bending space and time to their whims. They wish to be the final victors of the universe, but their adherence to the principle is not done out of faith. It is done out of necessity, and out of a ruthless calculus that has driven them to convert entire planets into calculating and
Hungry
thinking
buttocks.
machines. Mercury,
Hungry
Venus, Mars, and numerous other planetoids throughout the system, such as Nessus and Io, have all been infected by the Vex. The true Vex, the white mind fluid within the robots that still holds millions of microscopic organisms making them up, is dangerous to the extreme, and if ingested or even just touched, has a chance of converting whatever it comes into contact to into more Vex material. This has happened to a few Guardians, and the process has left them with either complete conversion into a Vex as their fate, or with Vex limbs that twitch and move partly outside of the user's control. The Vex have one singular goal of survival, but there are many subdivisions within the Gestalt intelligence of the Vex. These different divisions of Vex are often referred to as subtypes, and will often explore different avenues to accomplish the same goal. For example, the Hazen Protective and Hazen Corrective on Venus focused on the manipulation of timelines within the Vault of Glass and protect the great constructs of the Vault and the Citadel. The Vex on Mercury, located within the Infinite Forest beneath its surface, use massive simulation engines to predict future timelines in which the Vex have defeated all other forces, and then work to enact those timelines at the cost of all others. Most terrible amongst them all, however, are the forces of the Sol Divisive, the Vex of the Black Garden, the birthplace of the Vex, which came into contact with the terrible power of the darkness and have bound themselves to it with acts of worship, seeing that their best chance of survival comes from their subservience to a power far beyond their own. Most other Vex subminds, strangely enough, seem to avoid these Vex, indicating that the united Gestalt intelligence of the Vex isn't as complete as it might seem, and that fracturing subtypes and subminds maybe have more individuality than one might initially suspect, even if they are incapable of emotions and mostly recognize only the patterns of survival. Most Vex units aren't initially designed with combat in mind, but any Vex frame is capable of responding to a combat situation that may arise, and they are all armed with extremely powerful energy weapons and commonly have teleportation technology. The most dangerous amongst them are giant hulking frames that can either float or march across the battlefield and are capable of laying waste to supposedly superior forces in terms of numbers. They are tough and slow outside of their teleportation,
I didn't freeze the
and
fucking
oftentimes
horse,
will
did
be
I?
able
God
to
damn it.
defeat enemies with superior firepower. Next we have the Taken. The Taken were first witnessed in the solar system when one of the three Hive gods, Oryx the Taken King, arrived and began to use his powers learned explicitly from the darkness to abduct and corrupt the other forces in Sol. Taken are dark, corrupted versions of other enemy races, including the Fallen, Hive, Cabal, and Vex. Their creation is subject to much speculation, but at current, the best guess is that they are abducted through a portal and stand before the darkness itself. When they stand before it, they are corrupted and empowered by it, sent back as both hollow shells of what they once were and empowered greater versions of themselves, without any free will and only a desire to serve their master, whoever that may be. This process not only robs them of free will, but also ties them into the greater command structure of the Taken, which originally was commanded by Oryx the Taken King. Although now that he is dead, it is understood that the segmentation within the command structure can go a little bit deeper. Instead of having a single overriding will, the will is still passed down, with greater Taken taking on a command role if they are able to organize.
God damn it.
However, the Taken will still generally be animalistic without a greater mind controlling them. And with a greater mind commanding them, they will be able to have stunning effectiveness on the battlefield. Taken forces can materialize out of nowhere and are known to augment the combat abilities of any abducted forces within their ranks. For example, a Cabal phalanx, when taken, will have its shield converted into a propulsion weapon, which will allow enemy combatants to be pushed away, potentially into hazardous objects or off of cliffs. Taken forces are commonly seen fighting alongside the Hive, and at current are commanded by Xivu Arath, the Hive god of war. This development was extremely recent, as prior to this, they were commanded by Savathun, the Witch Queen, who took control of them after the death of Oryx. During his reign as the supreme ruler of the Hive, Oryx used the Taken as his greatest weapon, and the right by which he would conquer thousands of civilizations. They are always extremely dangerous, and will engage Guardian targets immediately, being drawn by their ravenous hunger to the Guardian's light. Last, but certainly not least, are the Scorn, which are some of the strangest and latest forces to emerge in Sol. They are, in essence, corrupted and undead fallen. They were born thanks to the magic of Riven, the last of the Wish Dragons. Yes, Destiny has dragons. We'll talk more about them in a bit. Riven granted the wish of the awoken Prince of the Reef, Uldren Sov, who wished for a dying fallen Archon to survive. The Archon was known as Fikrul, and he was then given immortality by Riven. Whenever he died, he would rise again, and he was also given the power to resurrect other fallen, and so remake them into Scorn. Thus, the Scorn as a race were born, and they have been a menace across the tangled shore of the reef, as well as its dreaming city, the Awoken's home outside of the Distributory, for a long time now. They are aggressive and savage, attacking Guardians, Awoken, and almost anything else on sight. Recently, the Scorn have begun to coordinate with the forces of the Hive and the Taken, leading to suspicions that they have aligned themselves to the darkness, or have perhaps become subservient to it. The Scorn, shortly after their creation, were also responsible, in combination with Uldren Sov, for the death of one of the most important characters in Destiny's story, Cayde Six. The murder of Cayde caused us to hunt them along the tangled shore, and to venture into the Dreaming City to kill Riven, their creator. It also led us on the path to killing Uldren Sov, who was commanding them. This brought about staggering consequences for the world of Destiny, as Uldren's body was then found by a ghost, and he was resurrected into a Guardian that we now know as Crow. Uldren Sov is an important character, and Crow, not remembering who he was in his previous life, as Uldren Sov, is now having a huge impact on Destiny's story. He still does not quite understand that he created the Scorn. He simply knows that there have been strange interactions where they have occasionally called him father and betrayer within the same breath. All of these enemies pose a terrible threat, but humanity has many great heroes and leaders amongst the Guardians who will stand against them. Here are a few of the more important ones that you might need to know about. Firstly, Commander Zavala, the Titan Vanguard mentor. He is effectively the leader of the city at this moment in time alongside Ikora, and he is the leading member of the Vanguard. The Vanguard is a council of 3 guardians, commonly one representing each class, that
Okay.
act as the city's leaders. But individually, each Vanguard member is a mentor to other guardians that arrive in the city of that same class, and they will coordinate with guardian forces at large. Zavala is the city's greatest general at current, and is responsible for all military operations planned beyond the
Fuck, we're
reach
gonna
of the
lose.
city's walls. Ikora Rey is the Warlock Vanguard mentor. She is responsible for internal affairs, but is also the leader of an organization known as the Hidden. Think of them as the Lost City's equivalent of the FBI, NSA, and CIA all rolled into one. She is a
Fuck.
fearsome warlock who studied as the apprentice of the fabled warlock Osiris, and who is renowned for her mastery of Void Light. A powerful combatant, but also a
21
shrewd negotiator. She has taken on many assignments and many roles,
Holy
and one would be
shit.
foolish to underestimate her combat prowess.
Alrighty.
Saint 14 was lost in the darkness of the Infinite Forest on Mercury after he went searching for the exiled warlock Osiris, who also happened to be his lover. He was lost within the forest's depths and was killed by the Vex there, who worked specifically to drain his light by creating a single Vex mind with all their resources that would be able to kill him and him specifically by draining his light. He therefore could not be resurrected. When Osiris returned from exile, he worked at great cost to try and
Okay.
bring Saint 14 back, and it was only with our help that he succeeded. Saint 14 now oversees the trials of Osiris,
Our community.
but is also
Hey,
a common face for Guardians in the
T-Vane,
last
thank you
few
for the follow,
years as
appreciate it.
he's become more and more involved in the day-to-day affairs of the tower. His exploits and accolades leave some to name him the greatest titan
How you doing,
who
Vane?
ever
Welcome to the
lived.
stream.
The great warlock Osiris was exiled by the Speaker, the former leader of the city and the Guardians, but was then rediscovered as Guardians explored the Infinite Forest on Mercury. He is a warlock of unique and terrifying power, and was at one time probably the most powerful Guardian in history. His unique abilities included the power to convert himself into a multitude of copies of himself, each of them able to
Oh,
fight
fucking
and battle
whale.
just as he could.
Nailed it.
These reflections of his could
Nailed
be
it.
used to spread information, to sacrifice themselves so others could be saved, and even to fight with the same light that Osiris himself possessed. Osiris was terrified, however, that there was a greater threat than him, a threat that was posed by the Vex, and he gladly accepted his exile so that he could go and fight them in their own realm. His return to the tower allowed him to engage more in the war that the Guardians were continuing to fight in the more recent years. His story, however, has taken a turn for the worst with the death of his ghost, Sagira, leaving him without the light. As we have just discovered,
Okay.
Savathun, the hive god of deceit, used the opportunity of Sagira's death to inhabit his body,
Oh, they got
and
power
unknown
hats
to
on.
all of us, watched alongside us and helped us in our plans for almost a whole year before revealing herself. Osiris's current whereabouts are unknown, as the true Osiris has been held captive by Savathun. Although, if the Witch Queen's bargain is to be upheld, Savathun has promised to return him to us
Yikes.
when we conduct a bargain with her that is currently undergoing the process of being completed in the Season of the Lost.
Yikes.
Whether this will occur or not is still to
Fuck.
be seen. Crow is a guardian we've touched on earlier in this video, but his impact on the tower goes beyond
go
his
again.
past life as Aldrin Sov, Prince of the Reef and brother to the Queen of the Reef, Mara Sov. If the old Hunter ways are to be honored, Crow may one day take up the mantle of Hunter Vanguard Mentor, given that Cade 6, the man he murdered, wished that his killer should
Amazing
replace him
buttocks.
as part of what is known as the Hunter Dare, a bet that has to be honored if it is fulfilled, a bet that every hunter will honor, by right of tradition and by Hunter's honor. Crow has yet to take his place in this position, as it's not clear that everyone would accept him. Aldrin Sov is still a much hated figure within the ranks of the Guardians, having murdered one of the people's heroes in the
Fuck you,
form of
horsey.
Cade. Crow still has much to learn as a Guardian generally, but his power is already impressive for a relatively young Guardian, and it is seen that a great destiny may yet await him. Lord Saladin was at one point the last of the Iron Lords. Before the Guardians existed, the Iron Lords were humanity's greatest protectors. They were also light bearers, and they fought for justice in the time of the Dark Ages
Okay.
before the city had been founded.
I think I'm
When
starting
Guardians
to
didn't
get it.
truly exist yet, they stood as the bulwark of humanity and as warriors that generally
got a
fought for
skill.
justice. Other light bearers, known as warlords, were known in this time to use their powers for evil means, and the Iron Lords resisted and often turned these warlords to their side eventually. It was this action that earned them the titles of some of humanity's greatest heroes. However,
1 gig
all
broadband,
of them
let's
died
go,
with an
Nomad.
interaction with ancient Golden
Let's
Age
go, dude.
technology, leaving Lord Saladin as
Okay.
the last to remain who would still take up the mantle of Iron Lord. One other survived, known as Lady Ephrodite, but she is now a pacifist and exists in a strange
I didn't mean to
pacifist
combine
guardian
those. I meant to
colony
sell that one.
far out of the edges of the system. Today, Lord Saladin helps to run the Tournament of the Iron Banner to test the strength and light of those guardians who serve to fight humanity. Lord Shaxx is the Crucible Handler. Long since the beginning of the city, the Crucible refers to the action and arena in which guardians would fight against each other. Today, the Crucible is a formal institution with matches overseen by Lord Shaxx.
Hey, Dragon. How you doing, bud?
Shaxx sees
Oh,
this as
fuck,
a
they got rid of
vital
my
part
horse.
of the battle to ensure that the city survives, as the Crucible
Oh,
is
I'm
a
screwed.
safe venue for guardians to train and hone their skills in live fire exercises against other deadly opponents. Shaxx has rarely stepped into
Damn
the
it.
politics of the city, but in his past, he was one of the city's greatest heroes at one of its greatest battles, the Battle of the Twilight Gap. It is here that he held the line along with his other 5 fire team members and quite probably saved the last city from complete destruction at the hands of not 1, but 3 fallen houses. Eris Morn, the last, is a hunter who took part in an assault on the Hive's lunar fortress known as the Hellmouth. The other 5 members of her fire team perished, but she survived and was forever scarred by the event, having to steal back her sight by stealing the eyes of a Hive acolyte. Eris's fire team, in their attempt to kill the son of the Taken King Oryx known as Crota the Light Eater, was completely annihilated. They failed in their attempt, and Crota still lived. But as the Hive God was beginning to be summoned back, Eris returned to us. She had existed in the Hellmouth for hundreds of years, and yet she
Hey, Fia.
escaped,
How you doing, bud?
coming to warn us of Crota's impending threat. Crota and Oryx
Oh,
both
wait.
died at
No,
our
no way.
hands, and now
Not
Eris
a prayer.
fights against the forces of the Hive and has
I was
proven
watching
to
a
be a
DC show
dependable
Why the Last
and
Man
trustworthy
Lives,
ally
it
in our
is Cool
quest
Price
to
podcast.
understand the
Yeah, that's
darkness
like it's been
and Hive
cancelled now.
lore.
That show, right?
She is
I'm pretty
also
sure I read
come
that it's been
to
cancelled.
wield the powers of the darkness, understanding that there is more to it
Okay, I
than
need the
the evil
mosquito.
it is
So
so
you can
commonly
go.
associated with. The Drifter
it's a
is
hot
one of the most
controller.
lawless figures in the entire city, if not the entire system. His presence is tolerated by the Vanguard, but he is taboo to state the least. He runs his own game known as Gambit, an exercise involving Taken gifted to him by the mysterious organization known as the Nine, whose current alignment and preferences are still somewhat poorly understood. The Drifter was a key member of the Tower's apparatus that helped Guardians understand that the universe had more shades of grey than might have initially been suspected. Whilst he is a light bearer, the Drifter is not a Guardian, and technically goes beyond any formal classification as such. He has been known to steal and lie and cheat, but has also proven to be a key ally in some of the theatres of war involving the fight against the darkness, and has also learned to, as he would put it, embrace the dark a lot more closely than others. Before we explain our last hero, I think it's worth explaining the rather pivotal change
I
that has
didn't see
happened
that
in
there.
Destiny in the last year,
Freeze it.
one that I think you will now
Okay.
see as rather obvious from the last 2 characters we spoke about.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well, Phil. I'm
We've
good,
spoken a
dude.
great
We're just
deal
chilling today.
about the light and
listening to
darkness,
Destiny lore,
but the reality
and
is not
playing
as simple
Super
as
Auto
black
Pets.
and white morality. The light and
Yeah, but the
darkness are
characters
indeed
around is so
entities, each of
boring.
which
That's what
can
I've
be
heard.
aligned to either good or evil from our perspective. But the light and
Ouch.
darkness are both also sources of
Ouch.
power. And behind each of those sources of power, there are those who are willing and capable
Bunny.
of wielding them.
Oh, he's dead.
Guardians, as it turns out, can tap into the
Nah.
powers of both light and darkness, And that is exactly
Like
what
how,
happened
you know,
on
like how I said I
Europa
was getting
in
it.
the Beyond Light
Yeah,
expansion,
I'm not.
which is where we met one of Destiny's most mysterious and infamous characters. Formerly known only by myth and legend, the Exo Stranger is actually a time-traveling Exo who has seen the darkness win in countless timelines in great battles. Her real name is Elsie Bray, one of the 4 grandchildren of the original creator of the Exos, known as Clovis Bray. She wields the power of the darkness and the element of stasis, and has proven it to be a powerful force in the hands of Guardians. It has also proven that whilst its corruption is a danger, it is not inherent. She has helped us to unlock the secrets of our first ever darkness subclass, and this is why we learned to wield stasis. She has become a vital ally on the European front, and she has changed the way that we see the universe and its
Okay,
most
that's
primal forces forever.
Okay, then we get 2 rounds.
First met by us 7 years ago at this point, she is
Okay, I
one
think
of
we
the
win.
more poorly understood
tie.
characters in Destiny,
I fucking hate it
always
here.
seeming to lack time to explain, and then when asked why, she says that she doesn't even have time to explain why she doesn't have time to explain.
I fucking hate it here.
Yeah, for you Destiny veterans, I had to mention that line. Those of you that enter the universe of Destiny today enter it at a time of great change. The darkness and light have risen again. The pyramids have returned and the Traveler has reformed and is once again alive.
Ooh,
The
crocodile.
great conflict that once occurred during the collapse
Okay, that's
is
actually pretty
beginning to
good.
brew again. And within the next few years, the final cataclysmic battle between the light and the dark is set to begin.
Oh,
You, as a
dead.
Guardian, will be the key unknown in this fight. Your choices and your powers are likely to determine the balance of the universe and the fate of all life, both here and yet to be.
Oh, they look
I
fancy.
also want to prepare you by touching on some commonly used terminology, which is commonly found in game but is not always understood. The list is going to be a little long, so forgive me, but I promise it's really useful to know these words and terms. So, yeah, let's take a listen. First of all, paracausal. Probably one of the most commonly used, commonly misunderstood, and most important terms in all
What
of
just
Destiny.
happened?
I could go on a whole video rant about what paracausality is,
lose?
but when someone uses this word, it's basically someone that goes beyond the laws of causation. In Destiny terms, paracausal power is basically space magic, the same space magic wielded by the Guardians,
space
the
magic.
Traveler, the Pyramids, the Hive Gods, and various other characters throughout the setting. The powers of the Awoken are paracausal. The powers of the Ascendant Hive are paracausal. The powers of any Lightbearer are paracausal. Paracausal power effectively means that you can use space magic to break the laws of the universe, thus allowing impossible things to happen.
I keep forgetting to look at these.
Hunters might use this, for example, to summon a gun wreathed in flame that is able to deal immense damage. Warlocks might
What
use
the fuck
it
is this dog
to
damage
throw
here? What
a
is this?
singularity on a micro scale towards their enemies that will then detonate outwards
The fuck is this?
and destroy them with incredible forces. Titans might use it to channel the light beneath them into a great attack that will then discharge electric arc damage in a great radius. These
I
are
fucking tied
things
again.
such as our supers or our grenades
I
or the
fucking
powers
tied.
attached to them. Whilst the word
I'm pretty
paracausal
sure it's
can
supposed to be
commonly
very
simply
good.
be
I've heard
interpreted
Preacher is very
as
good.
space magic, there is a lot of nuance to it, and it is far grander than I could possibly explain in a single video like this. Next, sword logic and bomb logic. These are basically two competing ideologies, one of the darkness and one of the light. The sword logic applies to the darkness and values simplicity, brutality, and murder. In the view of the sword logic, to kill is to gain power, and those that are the most powerful hone themselves by becoming better killers. The practice of the sword logic will one
Missed out on
day,
the DC
according to
stuff,
the
even
Hive
watching
and the
them. Yeah, I've heard
darkness,
Preacher's very good.
lead towards the perfect final shape as the darkness decrees it.
I haven't watched it personally,
Power
but I've
arises
heard
in the
it's,
sword logic
it's had some good
from
reviews.
simplicity and the ability to kill and keep on living. When someone kills and the sword logic is invoked in that action, they are taking and not having power given to them. And more importantly than that, as
A
they
fucking
take
boss?
the power and kill
Why
those
is there
who
a
they
boss?
are stronger than, they will literally become more powerful. Effectively, this is a form of social Darwinism on a scale of galactic proportions that is capable
Ouch.
of wiping out entire species. The Hive are the perfect embodiment of it. almost perfect at least.
I've
The
tied
bomb
3
logic,
times in a
conversely,
row.
is the ideology of the traveller
The fuck
and the
is
light,
this?
which values power born of complexity. Whilst a sword is a single part, a bomb is made of many parts. Innate if they are fought individually, but if put together, they are far more powerful than the sword. It is through such complexity that it is seen that life is capable of arising, and the bomb logic, therefore, is often seen as a more complicated game than the sword logic. But it still has proven to be powerful, and allows life to flourish and develop in interesting ways without much consequence, in complete contradiction to the sword logic.
Okay.
Next, the Ascendant Plane. The
I
Ascendant
don't
Plane
think I'm going to survive
is like
this
the
one.
backstage of the universe. If you've seen Stranger Things, think of this as Destiny's version of the Upside Down. Paracausal beings like Guardians are much more powerful in the Ascendant Plane because it's within the Ascendant Plane that causality molds much more easily to consciousness. In other words, you are capable of creating things with your space magic.
Fuck!
Some paracausal beings can even use their power to create their own pocket universes called throne worlds. We mentioned prominently that most hive gods have throne worlds and are able to do this. Ahamkara. The Ahamkara, or wish dragons, are just that. Dragons with paracausal powers known more commonly as wish magic. The wishes granted by the wish dragons are commonly seen as either
what?
Faustian bargains or wishes which come as a sort of
I
monkey's
don't want to buy a
paw.
puppy.
The wish is often granted, but at the cost that makes it not worth having
No.
asked for in the first place, or in a way that is commonly manipulated. The creation of the fanatic Fikrul by Aldrin Sov, who wished for him to live, is a perfect example. Aldrin wished for the fanatic to live, and ultimately created
Poo.
something undead. Aldrin's fanatic still lives on, but will never die. The
Okay.
Ahamkara, as at the end of Forsaken, are now probably extinct, as we killed the last of them, Riven of 1,000 Voices.
Okay, now I get the leveling up thing.
Arc, Solar, Void, and Stasis. These are currently the 4 elements in Destiny. The first 3 of these elements are commonly attributed
Freeze
to the
those
power
two.
of the light. Stasis, on the other hand,
Okay, now
is
I get the
commonly
leveling up thing.
attributed
I
with
can
darkness. Rasputin.
sticky seeds.
Rasputin is another character in Destiny. To put it really simply, he's an incredibly
Rasputin.
powerful sentient AI. In Destiny, he is called a Warmind. He was once humanity's greatest protector, but who has now fallen twice
Gotham
to
is
the
very
power
good.
of
I
the
would highly
darkness.
recommend. Good night, Dragon.
The Books of Sorrow. These are some of the oldest records of Destiny's lore, and contain the history of the Hive's civilization going back billions of years. It also contains the story of how they came to worship the darkness, made their pact with the worm gods, and came to become the arbiters of the sword logic. The Grimoire. When someone in Destiny's community talks about the Grimoire, they're commonly referring to Grimoire cards back in Destiny 1, which at one point in time was the game's only source of lore and oftentimes was seen as one of the game's better sources of storytelling.
Oh my god.
The Nine.
So many mosquitoes.
The Nine are a series of consciousnesses born of dark matter. Our presence within the universe creates an imprint on the dark matter, which gives them form and shape. Without this,
So I
they
took
would
out my
cease to
entire
be.
team.
Therefore, they have a vested interest in our survival. They have in recent years created
Holy
entities such
fuck.
as Xur and the Emissary of the Nine to reach out and communicate with us. They are one of the most mysterious and poorly understood forces in all of Destiny. Different time periods. Destiny's timeline, at least for humanity, can be broken up into the pre-Golden Age era, aka the 21st century, the Golden Age when the Traveler uplifted us, the Collapse when the darkness arrived, the Dark Age, which was right after the Collapse, the City Age when the Lost City truly began to establish itself, and the contemporary time period of the Destiny games. The Distributory. The Distributory was the original birthplace of the Awoken, found within a singularity artificially formed by the light and the darkness
Okay.
during the collapse.
Shit.
This is a separate place from the Kingdom of the Reef as we know it today, and is one of the Awoken's most closely guarded secrets.
Fuck.
Radiolaria. Radiolaria are the microscopic organisms that are commonly referred to as the True Vex. Radiolaria and Vex Mind Fluid are often referred to interchangeably. The parlance of Destiny sometimes refers to this stuff as Vex Milk on account of its appearance as a white viscous liquid. The Consensus. The Consensus represented the overall government of humanity's lost city. When fully functional, it featured the 3 Vanguard mentors, the 3 faction leaders, and the Speaker to lead it. In Destiny's recent history, the Speaker and Hunter Vanguard mentor have died, and the factions have been dissolved on account of a failed coup.
What the hell
The
just happened?
Consensus functionally no longer exists. The factions. The tower used to commonly maintain factions, and these
What the hell just
were
happened?
representatives of opinions within the
How did I
civilian
win?
population of the lost city.
I don't know how I
Factions
just
have
won.
risen and fallen in power as time has gone on, but the 3 that were around when they were eventually dissolved included New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, and Future War Cult. New Monarchy was dedicated to improving the city, but also wished to one day establish a dictatorship with a single supreme philosopher king at its center. The Future War Cult were obsessed constantly with war on the horizon and were preparing consistently for any eventuality which would bring conflict. Their leader, Lakshmi II, was the one who initiated the failed coup.
Fucking Lakshmi.
Dead Orbit believed that humanity needed to survive by fleeing Sol. They have amassed a massive fleet and use it sparingly to recover other vessels to add to that fleet. The end goal is to see humanity make a great leap into space as part of a massive diaspora, and in the process save their species by
Okay.
leaving
Oh, no, never
behind
mind.
their ruined worlds and finding a new place
Okay.
for humanity amongst the stars.
All right, we get
Siva.
in there, chat. We get in
Siva
there.
is a nanite technology created by the Clovis Bray Corporation. It could be directed by whichever mind controlled it to create and destroy, and was unfortunately weaponized by Rasputin to destroy the Iron Lords near the end of the Dark Age. The Iron Lords. Guardians before there were Guardians, the Iron Lords were an order of old heraldic light bearers that valued honor, duty, and sacrifice. They were humanity's greatest warriors and protectors in the point of the Dark Age, and their ranks contained many famous Guardians, such as Lord Saladin, Lady Ephrodite, Fellwinter, Radagast, Scory, Gelion, and more. I think it would be also useful to help arm you with some knowledge of the famous events in Destiny's history.
Okay.
There are a ton of wars and battles and things that have happened, so hopefully this will help to keep you on top of all of that. This isn't everything, but these are probably the most important of the events. The Battle of the Six Fronts. This was the first major attack on the lost city by a fallen house called the House of Devils. The battle is named as such because in this battle the Titans defended the city with 4 forces split across 6 fronts. Not a single one of those
I think
6
I
fronts fell. The Titans use a representation of this battle as their class sigil to this day. The Battle of the Twilight Gap. This is unquestionably the most famous battle and defense of the lost city in the city's history. It involved an assault by 3 fallen houses on the lost city, namely the House of Devils, the House of Kings, and the House of Winter, which all attacked the city
Fucking
and were it not for
buggers.
Lord Shax's fire team and their heroic action holding at the location of Twilight Gap, the city would certainly have fallen. The Reef Wars. Occurring in the same time period as the Battle of the Twilight Gap and occurring within the territory of the Reef around the asteroid belt, the Reef Wars were a series of skirmishes and assaults that played out between the Awoken of the Reef and the Fallen of the House of Wolves
Okay.
that was headed to join the other 3 houses at the Battle of the Twilight Gap. The Queen of the Reef, Mara Sov, intervened here, and by doing
got a
so,
lot of onions
almost
on that team.
certainly saved the lost city from doom. The Great Disaster. The Great Disaster references the largest Guardian army ever gathered in history and their assault on the moon. An army of over 1,000 Guardians was gathered on the moon and assaulted the Hive en masse.
What is that?
The Hive god Crota, son of Oryx, the Light
What
Eater,
move is that?
blunted the assault
Huh?
and slew Guardians by the dozens, if not the hundreds, crushing the army and forcing them to retreat. After this, the consensus declared that no further Guardian
fuck was that?
operations were to be conducted on the moon. This was unquestionably the greatest defeat in the city's history. The Crusades of Saint 14. These crusades were a series of offensive actions that took place after the Battle of the Twilight Gap, where Saint 14 attacked and devastated the fallen houses in retribution for the attack on the lost city. The Great Hunt. The Great Hunt occurred when the Ahamkara began to rewrite the surface of Venus. Guardians saw this rewriting of Venus's surface as a massive attack on the planet, as it appeared that the Ahamkara were beginning to burn it to the ground. Guardian leadership resolved to wipe out the Ahamkara who were assaulting the planet,
Fuck,
and
they got rid
thus
of my
hunted and
horse.
killed all but one of the Wish Dragons. The Faction Wars. In the earliest days of the city's founding, the faction wars nearly engulfed the city until the Guardians united to end the conflict so that the city could be defended from other attackers. This led to the creation of the faction system and the consensus. The Taken War. The Taken War was a series of conflicts fought between the Guardians,
This
the
is fun. I
Awoken,
see why people are
humanity,
addicted to
and the
this.
forces of the Hive of Oryx, the Taken King. This culminated in Oryx's death aboard his dreadnought in the rings of Saturn. The Siva Crisis. When Siva nanites were unleashed on Earth by the remnants of the House of Devils, the ensuing crisis was overseen by Lord Saladin. This saw us take on the forces of the Devil Splicers,
Fuck me,
cyborg
no.
fallen augmented with Siva and turned into mechanical constructs of terrible power. The Red War. The Red War was the only conflict that ever saw the last city fall. Dominus Gaul, the former leader of the Cabal, conquered the city by
keep
caging
fucking
the
up.
Traveler and preventing its light from reaching the Guardians, effectively making them mortal and leaving their ghosts without the ability to provide them with their usual powers. The Red War ended after we reclaimed the light, liberating the city
Amazing balls.
and killing Dominus Gaul, forcing his troops, the Red
This is the
Legion,
run.
and the Cabal fleets to flee into the wilds of Earth. The Curse of the Dreaming City. The Dreaming City is what is better seen as the true homeland of the Reefborn Awoken. Whilst there are many outposts within the asteroid belt, the Dreaming City
We've got a
itself
fucking
is a
tie.
hidden bastion, which
God damn it.
stores a great deal of terrible knowledge and exceptionally powerful Awoken secrets. This was also a place within which the Ahamkara gathered, and is a place we can visit in Destiny now. The curse on the Dreaming City was initiated when Guardians slew the last Ahamkara, Riven of 1,000 Voices.
Okay.
The curse on the Dreaming City is a 3-week cycle that puts the city in a growing state of corruption by taken essence and magic as time progresses. The cycle resets itself eventually, but the wish which enabled this to happen was that of the Witch Queen Savathun. The true purpose of the curse on the Dreaming City beyond simply weakening the Awoken is as of yet unknown. Hopefully all of that has
Fucking
provided
tie.
you with
Nope.
more than a substantial introduction. Next, we're going to be talking about individual topics one by one, starting with humanity in the Golden Age, working our way through the various races of humanity, then going back through all the different classes that you can play as a Guardian, then working through all the different enemies in Destiny, and then we'll be covering individual topics that I think are important. Hopefully this Destiny 101/Destiny Basics series is going to help all of you get to grips with the story of Destiny, and will help you all understand it better when you play. If you enjoyed the video or found it at all helpful, go ahead and leave a like. Hopefully this is something that you can go ahead and forward to more people. Destiny can be a complicated game.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that there's been 8 years worth of story that oftentimes is explained in a rather poor manner. But hopefully this video series is going to help you get the most out of Destiny as a universe, because genuinely, the story of Destiny is at current the best it's ever been, and I think that now is a fantastic time to jump in. One last thing, if you're at all intimidated by Destiny and its story, I would simply encourage you to try it. And the reason I say that is because whilst I have just spent an hour talking about the story and giving you what I think are the basics as a pure overview, Destiny now is in a place where, as far as the story is concerned, you can jump in with relatively little effort. Destiny is currently free to play, so you can try the gameplay out for yourself without actually having to jump into the game and purchase any of the expansions. If you do purchase the
fuck, the
expansions, they have
whale.
their own standalone story campaigns that have big swings within Destiny's overall narrative arcs, but there's also annual seasonal content for you to jump into. If you jump in this day and age now, you can also play a lot of the content that was released during the seasons of this last year, and that includes things such as The Strike that was released in the season of The Chosen, Battlegrounds, the various content released in the season of The Splicer, the Wrathborn hunts that you can find in the season of The Hunt, and you can experience
Jesus
the current season of
Christ.
story, which is very important to understand because effectively the season of The Lost is the story that acts as a prelude to Witch Queen. If
Oh, wait,
you want to
what was
jump
this?
into Destiny and try it,
What was
now
this?
is a perfect time.
No.
And hopefully with all of this knowledge, I've prepared you more than adequately enough. If you want to know more, and if you want more on the basics of Destiny, I'm going to go ahead and explain it all in simple terms, just like this, over more videos as time goes on. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching.
Tropical streamers.
Wow, this ended up being really long. Hopefully it was useful. In the meantime,
Piggies.
greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife here.
I win!
So hopefully you're here after having seen my first big introduction video to the basics of Destiny, which, oh my god.
Okay, chat. Did any of that they said in the first video make sense? Let me know if it did. Oh no. I'm getting there.
Yeah, that one ended up being rather long. Today we're going to be talking
I'm
about
getting
one of
there.
the most central topics of Destiny's home turf, humanity in a lot of different forms. We're going to talk about humanity in the Golden Age, humanity's greatest inventions and discoveries. We're going to talk about humanity after the collapse, when the last city was founded and all the institutions that exist in it now. And we're going to talk specifically about
Yes,
some
I
of
guess
the
we're
most
rid of the
important inventions in humanity's history, and some of
Now
the
I've got a
more
fucking
important
rat behind
figures
me.
in humanity's history. Clovis Bray and Rasputin.
Fuck!
Those last two are topics that could have their own individual videos, but today we're covering just the basics, so we're going to go over all of that in only really brief detail. So let's begin. Humanity's story in Destiny really begins in the early 21st century, when humanity detected a massive interstellar object entering the orbit of Mars. After the global powers of the time determined that it was an object from outside the solar system and was probably alien in nature, the world's three greatest powers at the time, the People's Republic of China, Russian Federation, and United States of America, united and pooled their resources so that they could create the Ares 1 project. This ended up sending three humans to
fucking
Mars,
rounds.
one from each of the three constituent nations. The Taikonaut, Cosmonaut, and Astronaut inside the Ares 1 craft touched down on Mars approximately 18 months after the arrival of the mysterious alien sphere. And it turned out that that alien sphere, of course, was the Traveler. It was at this moment that they discovered what the Traveler was doing, that it was in fact terraforming Mars, and they were witness to the first time that humanity had ever seen rain on another planet. Mars's entire atmosphere was beginning to get oxygenated, and this was only the first sign of change. The Martian rains beheld by Chow, Hardy, and Mielova were in fact minor miracles compared to what the Traveler would do next. It terraformed worlds like Mercury and Venus into worlds that weren't just habitable, but were verdant paradises that could support human life with ease. It made worlds such as Mars and Io into livable spaces teeming with life. Humanity wasn't left untouched either, as the human race saw its lifespans tripled. The old hatreds of the old world were left behind, and science, reason, spirituality, individuality, and peace blossomed across the system. By all accounts that remain, it was a time of miracles.
Nope.
Humanity expanded out into the stars and began to seek out the opportunities that life in the wider solar system could bring. We began to construct incredible marvels amongst the stars, from one end of the solar system to the other. These are but a few of them. The Ishtar Academy on Venus was an incredible hub of scientific advancement and education, but it also stood near ruins unearthed on Venus that predated humanity by at least 4 million years. These ruins, as it turned out, belonged to the Vex. The Cosmodrome at Baikonur in Kazakhstan saw the great colony ships of the Axis program constructed so that humanity might reach out into the stars. On Mars, the great city of Freehold was built by the Clovis Bray Corporation, and the scientific endeavor of our golden age was allowed to flourish without restraint, for better or for worse. The great arcologies of Titan were established, and their floating cities on the methane waves rose to cover the surface of the moon's great oceans. By all accounts, we had become a great civilization, but our greatness did also contain a certain degree of ugliness. It's at this point that I think we need to refer to the Golden Age's equivalent of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, the Clovis Bray Corporation. Clovis Bray I founded the corporation that would bear his name, and it was from this company that some of the greatest scientific advancements of all mankind's history were spawned. It was also an institution that commonly built that progress on suffering, maintained purely so that the leaders within the corporation could attain their scientific goals. If you discover any records of someone working in a Clovis Bray institution, you're likely to see at least traces of this notion. On the face of it, they wish to be the face of scientific progress and the betterment of humanity.
Yo, my cricket's
but
fucking
they
slaying.
really don't care
Let's
about
go.
anything except the personal gain of those at the top.
Aww.
Regardless, the corporation created a great many marvels, all of which can be counted amongst humanity's greatest achievements. Firstly, there was SIVA, a nanotechnology developed by Willa Bray, and various others on the project. SIVA was a series of nanites that could be directed by their controller into whatever they willed, from relatively simple objects like a tarp or insulating fabric to an advanced machine with multiple complex components. Great cities are suspected to have risen in miraculously short spans of time thanks to the use of this technology. Then, there is the creation of the Exos. Exos are essentially robotic humans. I explained a little about them in our first episode, and I wanted to save their bigger lore insights for the video where we cover them specifically. For now, just know that they hold a dark secret and that they were made on Europa. Last, but certainly not least, there was Rasputin. Rasputin is known as the Warmind. He's basically a hyper-advanced artificial intelligence distributed across a variety of defense platforms and constructs all across the system. Rasputin was developed in part by Anastasia Bray and a team at the Martian core of the Warmind. Rasputin's control of the system extended through his various subminds, which were other AIs linked to him, distributed throughout other systems inside of Sol. They were all responsible for lesser tasks, but they all effectively were extensions of his own will. In their own parlance, they refer to him as the Tyrant. Rasputin was tasked generally with the defense of the system from both threats known and unknown, and in the process of this, many incredible inventions were created, such as the Icolos weapons.
This is the
and
furthest we've gotten so far.
A network of attendants known as the Seraphs served the needs of Rasputin that extended beyond his software or the typical capabilities of his robotic frames. Rasputin's warsats and other defensive structures throughout the system were all activated during the collapse, as it attempted to fight off the darkness. Its firepower was not even close to enough to defeat the darkness, and it was squarely driven into hiding. When he was reactivated by Anna Bray later on, he also ended up in the role he had been in before, as the defender of the lost city. When the darkness returned, once again, Rasputin was defeated and was all but destroyed this time. Part of him was saved onto a frame that Anastasia Bray has been working to restore, but she's thus far been unsuccessful. When the collapse occurred, it is believed that the vast majority of humanity died out, with only small percentages of us surviving out in the wilds, in distant bunkers or undiscovered strongholds, or in a select few spacecraft that were lucky enough to evade the Black Fleet. The return of humanity in the Dark Age led to the establishment of many small towns in the wild, most of which would not survive. The major settlement that did survive was the one formed beneath the Traveler, which one day would become known as the Last City. At its apex, the city held several rings of walls, with 8 towers worth of Guardian defenders. Now, none of these towers are functional, and the Guardian defenders have taken residence in a portion of the wall beneath the last of these
20
8
health?
towers.
Wait a minute.
Humanity's current forces
The
within the
fuck?
city can be subdivided into various disciplines and occupations. Here are a few that are worth noting. The
I'm screwed.
FOTC, or Forces of the City, is effectively what seems to be the closest thing the city has to a standing
I'm
army,
fucking screwed.
but is not made up of Guardian forces. They consist of city volunteers, as best we can tell, and security frames that can provide Guardians with a variety of air support or heavy ordnance as requested. From the typical Hawk gunships that one sees patrolling the area around the city, to heavy ordnance including Drake tanks or frames deployed with heavy weapons. Often the FOTC act in a purely defensive role, as Guardians are more than powerful enough to tackle typical combat situations that arise without the assistance of the lightless. It is also seen as an obvious point that if someone is lightless and they are killed in the line of duty, unlike a Guardian, they cannot be brought back to life. Guardians, on the other hand, can throw themselves into combat dying dozens of times and are still able to return thanks to the use of their ghosts. The city also has organizations such as Owl Sector, who are groups of civilians that work to assist the Vanguard in matters of particular crisis. When scientific expertise or additional intelligence capabilities are required, Owl Sector has been activated from time to time in order to respond to certain situations. The city's foundries produce anything a Guardian might need, from weapons to armor to sparrows to ships. There are a variety of well-established and storied foundries in the city that are responsible for the creation of many famous weapons, as well as the typical fare that might be wielded by a Guardian on a daily basis.
I did no damage.
Some of the best known are Suros, Omolon, Haka, Tex Mechanica, Crux
31,
Lomar, Daito, Weist, and the Black Armory. Humanity to this day is in a state of steady population decline, but that's not necessarily the most immediate of problems
rough.
for the residents of the city, given
was so
the
rough.
imminent danger posed by the
Okay.
various enemies in the solar system at current. Human technology and lifespans might have been improved over time, but it's unclear if humanity will survive to see another century. Most people within the Last City live in anything from high-rise apartments that can be seen right beneath the Traveler, all the way down to slums and squalor. This is all dependent on the way that the Lost City is housing its residents, but most civilians can expect at least a certain degree of quality of life. As best we know, there is nothing that stops a civilian from improving their dwelling, and so as time has gone on, various portions of the city have gotten wealthier, especially as internal commerce has improved.
That's a good start.
Certain areas of the city were destroyed in the Red War when the Cabal attacked the Lost City, and those areas have not all recovered just yet. Areas such as the Botsa district were completely abandoned in this time, leaving some sections of the city mostly uninhabited. There are a few things that most citizens have in common. There are some dishes and some customs that have survived the collapse and are celebrated commonly. A version of Halloween exists, known as Festival of the Lost. A seasonal holiday that could be found around the winter exists, known as the Dawning. Humanity also celebrates the summer solstice.
That'll be coming around soon.
There are certain dishes such as spicy ramen that have survived the collapse, which are now popular fare in the city. And generally speaking, alcohol is also still about, even if sometimes you might not necessarily find the same things that you did hundreds of years ago. Although this isn't a topic that is commonly cited in Destiny's lore, and I think it's obvious why. There are just more important things going on. Life in the city is hard, but life is harder for any who are outside of it, or any pilgrims who are making their way to the city. Pilgrims are commonly found and escorted in the last few miles of their journeys by the Pilgrim Guard Titan Order, but they have been enacting this particular policy of escorting humanity's survivors to the Lost City for hundreds and hundreds of years. Nowadays, the number of refugees is starting to fall, implying that the Lost City may still at this point be growing, but it's beginning to be the only bastion within which humanity can now live, containing the last remnants of all humanity. This is a worrying state of affairs, and whilst outposts do still exist for humanity across the system, there are none greater than the last safe city. Whether we will be attacked at any point soon and what we will do as a city is an open question that maybe will soon require an answer. But all of that is still to be discovered. In the meantime, though, that's all you're going to get from me for now, and that is the basics behind humanity in Destiny. Hopefully the video was useful, and if you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like, and go ahead and hit the bell next to subscribe, and the subscribe button to keep up with all the content on my channel, including this series where I cover the basics of Destiny. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comments section. If there's something glaringly obvious that I've somehow missed in this, which is not impossible, because, hey, maybe
you
I've got
stop
my head
feeding
stuck in the
everyone,
clouds
please?
and I forget
Thank
something
you.
really simple, yeah, I'll see about answering it in the comments section down below. In the meantime, though, know that as per usual, your viewership is quite enough for me, and that in the
Come
meantime,
on!
my name is Bife.
Come on,
Audacia
dude.
ad Astra. I'll see you, Starside.
Bye. Next. All right. Come on. Yes. No.
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife
Yes.
here. Welcome back to my beginner's
Welcome up.
guide to Destiny. Last time we
Yeah.
covered the lore of humanity, and there were a lot of offshoot topics in that one because humanity is a bit of a broad and weird topic.
Okay.
Obviously, we all know the basics
Fuck 'em
about
up, Bunny.
humanity's origins, given that we are
Yeah.
human, and that Destiny's world is based,
Okay.
at least in the very beginning of its human origins, on our world. However, this time we're going to be talking about the second of the playable races in Destiny, the Awoken. And for them,
Oh,
we're going
I
to be
want the
covering a lot
dolphin.
more about their origin story and how it leads
I want the
them to where
dolphin.
they are in the game now. So, without much further ado, let's begin. Much like the Exos, who we'll talk about in the next episode, Awoken are technically post-human.
I'm taking the plunge.
Which is to say that they were previously human, but have now become something beyond human. But how did the Awoken become the
gone
various
further
shades
beyond!
of grey, blue, and purple that they are today? The answer to that one is complicated, but it all starts with humanity in the Golden Age. Back in the Golden Age, there was a program called the Exodus Program, which was a massive colonization effort with the aim of sending human colonists
that
beyond
bitch
the
outta
solar
here.
system. It was on one of these vessels that the story of the Awoken would begin. This vessel was called Exodus Green, also known as Yangli Wei, and it would be traveling towards the outer reaches of the solar system when the collapse began. For those of you who don't remember, the collapse was basically Destiny's apocalyptic moment that sent it towards the state of affairs that it's in now. This was when the Darkness and the Pyramids and the Black Fleet, all of which are basically tied up as the same, arrived in the solar system and fought with the Traveler and cast humanity into ruin. This is a moment at which everything for the story of the Exodus Green becomes pivotal, because without this happening at the certain time that it did, they might simply have been another colony ship that passed out beyond the Kuiper Belt and left the solar system. It's unclear if any of the Exodus program vessels got that far, but we do know that the Exodus Green at very least made it a certain degree of the way. It was, however, pursued by the Pyramids and attacked with their signature style of gravity-distorting weapons. Having received word that the rest of the system was also being attacked,
This
the
is gonna
Exodus
be a
Green
badass
sent a
team,
message
alright? I
into
can feel
space
it.
towards their pursuers.
It's gonna be a bossing
informing
team.
Those pursuers that they
Ready?
wished to
They're
be
gonna get
treated
destroyed.
as a separate entity from
19?
humanity within the solar system, asking to be spared and disavowing their allegiance to humanity at large. It's not clear if what happened next was because of this, but near the vessel, light and dark clashed
You
and coalesced,
stupid dog!
and within that titanic clash, an artificial singularity was born. A singularity in this instance, for those of you who don't know, is basically a black hole, but in this instance it was small and not such a typical world destroyer as had been seen
Right,
previously.
I'm buffing you the
Though
fuck
the
up.
effect was very much the
Alright,
same.
get ready.
Yangli Wei, the Exodus Green, began to topple towards
My hippo
the
is gonna get
singularity,
buff.
as one would expect.
Give me another
But on
hippo.
its hull, there were two crew members who had gone EVA, who were on the side of it in spacesuits, and they were also accelerating towards the singularity, but at greater speed. One of these crew members detached herself from her tether to the ship.
Hey, Jules.
and
Perfect
she
timing.
fell
Yeah, perfect
towards the
timing.
singularity even faster. She wanted to be the first to cross the event horizon. Perhaps she thought that she was simply embracing her death more quickly. Perhaps she foresaw the great destiny
fuck, he's
that
got a
awaited her
fucking
within the
melon.
singularity. Regardless, the thing that we are certain of is simply her name, Mara Sov. Mara, as the first
Okay,
to enter the
fine.
singularity, was allowed to define all that its future inhabitants, the crew of the Exodus Green, could be. She was able to craft the world within the bounds of the singularity to her wishes.
I
though
have
she
Jules,
hid
thank you.
this fact
Hope
well,
you're having a good day.
even engineering circumstances to make it seem like she was not the first of the newly reborn denizens of this new world. The people reborn in this singularity
good boy.
were beings of both light and dark.
How you doing, bud?
Their skin changed from all the normal human skin tones into tones of grey and blue and purple. A new people who shone with light and yet also were eclipsed in shadow. They were immortal, and they were called the Awoken. A distinct feature of the Awoken was the matriarchal nature of their society, given the remarkably small number of men amongst the number of the crew. The world within which all of the Awoken found themselves was a lush paradise, sealed away from the rest of the system in the safety of the black hole. Within the singularity, the world upon which the Awoken found themselves saw time pass more quickly due to the nature of the black hole and how time is distorted by the immense gravity of a black hole. In the space that years could pass in the system outside, within the singularity,
they're
the
so
Awoken
strong!
could see millions of years elapse. The world within the singularity was named by the Awoken as the Distributory, and to this day, it is one of the most closely guarded secrets of the Awoken. But Mara knew that they could not remain in this paradise forever. Through the visions of foresight granted to her, her mother Asana
Dang it!
Sov, and many other Awoken, Mara knew that she would need to one day return to Sol with her people. So it was that over millions of years, she manipulated the Awoken people to sway a significant number of them to her side. Whilst some wished to remain in the paradise of the Distributory, others followed Mara, and eventually left its safety, returning back to Sol. It is here that they realized that they were not immortal anymore, and that this was perhaps an interaction with the way that they were within the Distributory. Their nature had fundamentally changed when they returned, and this would have lasting and powerful consequences. When she returned, Mara Sov brought many great Awoken heroes and heroines with her. There was Syur Ido, Mara's lover, personal protector, and the first Queen's Wrath, whose marksmanship with a longbow was unmatched. There was her brother, Aldrin Sov, known for his cunning and beauty amongst the Awoken people, but most staunchly known to us for the loyalty he showed to his sister, Prince of the Reef and Spymaster to the Queen. There was Keldawaj, the All-Teacher, whose wisdom and ability to mold minds in
But you
preparation
can have a
for
dragon?
learning
Oh,
stood unmatched.
fuck!
Those who journeyed with
Okay.
Mara would become the first to found a new Awoken kingdom, but not before they were confronted with the knowledge of Earth and the Traveler's victory over the darkness. Upon discovering that it was still intact, and that there were indeed humans living beneath it, many
Awkward
Awoken
poses.
wished to go to Earth and to go to the Traveler so that they could assist them immediately. This had of course been the supposed original reason for the Awoken to leave the Distributory. Mara, however, was determined to keep her people united, seeing as they were in a weakened state as they had left, and they needed to establish a firm base of operations
Okay, that's
before
fine.
anything more could be done. Her desire for control over her people also extended to her desire to found the new kingdom under her bounds. Upon discovering that everything was still intact, though, everything changed. Mara was determined to keep her people united, but circumstances fell beyond her control, and so she allowed every one of the Awoken a chance to leave.
Freeze
Around
them all.
30% of them originally wanted to leave, and a number of them did. Those who left were known from that moment on as the Earthborn Awoken, and would split themselves off from their people for a second time. They were not
Smack 'em
allowed
up.
to return.
Smack my fish
Those
up!
that stayed by Mara's side would help to found her new kingdom within the asteroid belt. Within the great shipwrecks and massive asteroids, Mara would create the Kingdom of the Reef. And those that
We
stayed
win!
by her side, instead of being known as the Earthborn Awoken, would be known as the Reefborn Awoken. Aloof, graceful, and often secretive, The Reefborn Awoken are a guarded and closed-off people, one that has
Alrighty.
seldom wished to reach out to other entities within the system for help, and when they have done so, they have done so under the conditions of great control. However, this perhaps is with good reason. After all, they do control many powerful secrets, and if they were to be discovered, who knows what powers their enemies might be able to learn.
Okay, freeze
It was
that.
only when we were permitted access to the Dreaming City a few years ago that we started to truly uncover more about this most mysterious of peoples. There are many things that we don't completely understand, but one thing we do know is that all
My
Awoken,
fish is better than your
as of
fish.
having entered Sol
Alright.
once more, are paracausal to a degree.
Oh!
The strongest amongst them are capable of powerful magics that are born of the powers of both light and dark. The powers of Mara Sov are greater in this regard than any other Awoken, though the Tekkens are also powerful users of paracausal might that should be understood and not underestimated. In time, Mara would also establish the Awoken people's connection with the Ahamkara, Destiny's so-called Wish Dragons. She did so with her special connection with the first one of them discovered by her people. It was brought to her by Uldren Sov, and it named itself Riven in honor of the twice Riven Awoken people. In time, the Wish Dragon would join the Awoken and would assist them through their magics and power in the creation of the marvelous realm known as the Dreaming City. These Wish Dragons, as they were known, could grant wishes,
Fucking
as their
whale?
names
He got a whale?
suggested, but they often did so in a way that created suffering for those who had wished, or perhaps granted the wishes in a way that was unexpected. For example, one might wish for, say, someone to live, but that person might then live through a curse of undeath. This is just
Okay.
a typical example, and it has indeed happened. This is how the Scorn were created. These wishes, granted in such a manner, granted the dragons
Having
great
a whale over
sustenance,
time.
and as a result, the Awoken created many structures and surfaces within the Dreaming City
Love
out
it.
of amethyst, which could be used to identify when a Wish Dragon was about to use its powers, and thus could counteract any bargains made. In spite of the danger posed by such fearsome paracausal creatures, the Wish Dragons and the Awoken people learned to live in relative harmony within the Dreaming City, coming and going mostly as they pleased. That is, until the Great Hunt. The Great Hunt, as I mentioned in our first episode of the series, was a moment when the Guardians of the Lost City hunted down the Ahamkara to near extinction. The only survivor of this was Riven. Riven, who was Mara's prisoner
This is gonna be
now
interesting.
within the Queen's Walk at the heart of the Dreaming City.
Ew.
Later in time, Mara would intervene several times in the story of
Oh,
humanity,
that gives a fucking...
allowing us to accomplish some of our greatest victories, at cost to herself and her people. She intervened when the House of Wolves encroached on her borders, effectively stopping them from taking part in the Battle of the Twilight Gap. Had they joined, humanity would have gone
That fucking
extinct,
boss
and the Guardians
fucks
would have
me
been
up.
destroyed unquestionably. In the process, she
Dolphin?
turned the House of Wolves to her side temporarily, and until their Kel Skolas escaped the fabled prison of elders, she was their Kel and commanded their loyalty. This moment at which they rose was the Wolf Rebellion, and is portrayed in Destiny's House of Wolves expansion from Destiny 1. However,
I'm gonna be honest, not a great
Mara's
expansion.
greatest sacrifice would come at the Battle of Saturn. When Oryx, the Taken King, arrived within the system, Mara
Get that
would send
fucking
her
whale outta
forces
here.
to attack his fleet
Ah!
as part of a plan to allow Guardians to eventually kill the first among the Hive Gods. In the process, she would die and was taken by Oryx. Most of her fleet would be destroyed, her brother would fall to
Fuck!
corruption, and the Dreaming City would be invaded by
Okay.
the creeping presence of Oryx, who would take Riven, infusing the Wish Dragon with the power of darkness. Mara would be freed from Oryx's grasp, and would make her way back to the Dreaming City through her most secret of powers, her throne world. Crafted in preparation for this moment by Riven and herself, they had once called it Eleusinia, but it was now a shattered, corrupted husk of its once proud and noble self. After returning in Forsaken, Mara oversaw the initial weeks of the fighting in the Dreaming City from afar, not truly being in contact with her people. We were able to periodically visit her through a creation known as the Oracle Engine, both a communications device and a bridge to her far-off realm. However, she would then depart,
Far out, man.
returning to
Oh
the
my
Ascendant
God!
realm to go and face the darkness that was coming to find them. But it would not stay this way forever. Petra Venj, the second Queen's Wrath, would eventually stand and decide to form a new coven of what are known as Techeuns. We'll explain more about them in a moment, but what you should know is that these Techeuns, 13
This
in
is
number,
brutal!
were able to bring Morosov back, helping her navigate out of the Ascendant Plane back towards real space. This is how the Season of the Lost truly begins, with the return of Morosov. The Awoken now
I don't think I'm going to
are a
survive this one.
fragmented and battered people, but one that still easily has enough fight left in them to be a worthy ally. If the skill of their people in battle is not to be considered, then their powerful magics and terrible secrets
Oh, the fucking boss.
most certainly are. Awoken society within the Reef holds several noteworthy positions that are worth speaking about and better understanding so that you can see what the entire hierarchy of their kingdom looks like. As a matriarchal monarchy, the Awoken Kingdom of the Reef is ruled over by a sole sovereign, a queen, Mara Sov. She is the undisputed queen of the Awoken, and even in her absence, the people of the Awoken broadly still owed loyalty to her and acted in her word and her name. Beneath her is her regent, first protector, greatest military commander, and closest confidant, the Queen's Wrath. Previously, this was a role undertaken by Sieur Ido, but since her death, a new Wrath, known as Petra Venj, was appointed. This appointment was made just before the House of Wolves expansion in the days of Destiny 1. Petra has not had much time in her new position, but thus far, in the few years that she has had, she has done an exemplary job. Petra has long been the point of contact for the Guardians
Peacock early
and
is
has served
huge!
diligently in her role ever since her promotion. Amongst the higher ranks also sit the Awoken Spy Master, previously a position held by Aldrin Sov, the Queen's brother. As Spy Master, which is mostly an unofficial position, Crow was able to command a number of tactical assets capable of assisting with intelligence gathering or espionage operations. Amongst those assets were the Crows, drones that were capable of gathering and reciting information. Greater still were the Corsairs. Corsairs are mostly answerable to the Queen's Wrath, but they are the Awoken's special forces and elite warriors generally. A Corsair is quick with a blade and quicker with their mind. Being able to think on their feet, they're often able to defeat overwhelming opposition through the use of asymmetric warfare and special tactics. Above the Corsairs and beneath the Queen's Wrath are the 6 other military commanders of the Awoken that stand alongside the Queen's Wrath. The Paladins.
This is really
of
fun.
These 6 Paladins,
I'm enjoying this.
4 are assigned to the Awoken's navy and 2 to their army.
Hey!
The Queen's Wrath technically leads the Queen's Guard, and is also a Paladin, although is specially named, and as suggested, is primarily responsible for the protection of the Queen. The Reef also has powerful paracausal magic users known as Techeuns. Whilst it's unclear if they hold military rank, it seems clear that they answer only to Mara, as even Petra, the regent of the Awoken until Mara returned, had trouble convincing them to take certain actions, and some of them even refused to take cues from her, even though she spoke with Mara's authority. The Techeuns are the keepers of the secrets of the Distributory, powerful paracausal entities, and they have also studied paracausal energies and forces for as long as they have been in the universe, be they from the light or dark.
Oh, wait.
I've used that word quite a lot in this video, so as a quick reminder, the term paracausal is one that simply implies a degree of space magic. To go into the true technicalities of it, it means that you're able to do things that are not explained by the typical laws of physics within the universe. You're essentially able to break the laws of physics, and in doing so, it's harder to explain how you've been able to acquire such power. When you, as a player, use your super, this is an expression of paracausal power. When certain enemies, such as the Ascendant Hive or the Darkness and the Pyramids, those fallen amongst the House of Salvation that have acquired darkness powers, use said darkness powers, this is also an expression of paracausal power. Things that break the universe. The Techeuns study these powers, and as a result, they are well versed in certain methods used to fight against powerful entities. They also have certain special crystals surgically grafted into their foreheads, which allows them to wield greater power and traverse ley lines more easily. For those of you who don't know what ley lines are, I've got a video that goes over them. They were talked about a lot in the Season of the Lost, but effectively they are strings and pathways that link our reality to what is known as the Ascendant Plane, a place where paracausal beings are even more powerful, and where some of them can even be mighty enough to forge a throne world. Though the Coven in current days has grown thanks to the actions and recruiting of Petrovenge, who recruited 13 new Tekkens into a new Coven so that they could be used to recover Mara Sov. Not all of these Tekkens are bound to return, and this new Coven is not as experienced as the older group that went with Mara to face Oryx. All three of those senior Tekkens, Shuro Chi, Sadia, and Kali, have been recovered, but that does not change the fact that the Tekkian forces are now weaker in number than they used to be. The Kingdom of the Awoken stretches through the asteroid belt, from asteroids of major names such as Vesta to Pallas to Amethyst to Ceres, and into the Ascendant Plane in certain unknown and secretive locations. They are arguably one of our most powerful allies, downtrodden and beaten in general as they are. Never underestimate the story of the Awoken, and certainly don't underestimate the
I've
power
got
of their
an
creed
idea.
or their individual troops. Mara Sov is one of the most cunning and
I
powerful
have a
beings we've ever known.
plan.
It is not like her to lose, and when she comes to a fight, she is prepared to win and to take all necessary
Attack my
risks to do
bees!
so. She has the backing of a kingdom that is willing to fight for her to the last, with blade and gun and tooth and nail, with every fiber of their being,
Okay,
with
you game
every
buff,
iota
you
of
game buff,
effort that they
right?
can muster.
Wow.
This is a kingdom
You game
that
buff
will
again?
fight to the death
Yeah?
for their one true queen. This is a
Oh, he's got a
kingdom
fucking
that is
melon.
not prepared to lose.
Damn it.
Should you play as an Awoken in Destiny, something else rather special will happen. There's an interaction that you can sometimes have with other Awoken, particularly if you start exploring Awoken territories. Other Awoken will refer to you as cousin, as a reflection of the fact that you as a Guardian are still an Awoken, regardless of whether you were technically
I shouldn't have
raised
done
as
that.
Reefborn
Fuck! I just
or
screwed it up.
Earthborn. There is a distant kinship between all Awoken, although technically that kinship does not truly extend towards all Awoken from all places. There has been a consistent rivalry between the Earthborn and Reefborn Awoken, but regardless, I think it is fair to say that in this time now, we see the Awoken as allies, even if some of them are pricklier in nature. That's all from me for now, though. I hope you found this useful, and I hope that it was something that helped you understand a little bit more about the world of Destiny. To understand more about the Awoken, I definitely tune into all the content I'm making this season. It is centered around the Awoken and the key characters of the Awoken. You can watch videos like the one on Argus Scepter in particular to get a more broad overview of the story of the Awoken. But I am actually going to be doing a series covering the whole of the Awoken's story. You see, I think this is important, and it's a major thing that I actually missed back in the days of the last time that we actually went to the Dreaming City and explored
You
the time
son
of the
of a
Awoken,
bitch!
namely, the time back in Forsaken. So, I'm going to go over all of the important times of the Awoken and all of the important lore, namely the Mara Senna, the Awoken of the Reef Lorebook, and the Maraid, which is from Destiny 1, and catalogues the events of the Reef Wars. So, with all of that being
Let's
said,
try that.
thank you very much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy. If you did, go ahead and
Go,
leave a
my
thumbs up.
hippo!
And if you have any of your own thoughts,
Oh my
go ahead and
God!
leave them down below in the comments section. If you're a new player in particular, and you
Fuck!
want something covered beyond the 10th episode, when I'm done covering all of the allied races you can play, and all of the
Never
enemy
mind!
races that you'll be fighting against, go ahead
I
and
got
let
a
me
rocket
know,
chat, I do.
Because if you do have another topic,
It rocks.
I
It's
really
got-
want
Oh,
to hear
no,
from
the
you in
bus!
particular. I'm not entirely sure what you guys do and don't know, considering that I've been playing this game for 7 or 8 years now, and
Mother-
I am
I'm gonna
certainly
start-
not
I'm
in the
starting
mindset
again.
of somebody who's new to this and has all sorts of
I'm
questions.
going on a downward
If there's
spiral
a
there.
burning topic that I absolutely need to cover, go ahead and let me know, and I'll do my best to fit things into the schedule after that. But in the meantime, that's all from me for now. Thank you so much again for watching, and
Arms
remember, as
over.
per usual,
Over
your
arms.
viewership is quite enough for me, and that my name is Bife.
My name is Beam. My name is Bife.
Rodacia ad Astra.
Rodacia ad Astra.
I'll see you, Starside.
You'll see us Starside. Pow! Pow pow! Okay. I shouldn't have done that yet. I should have waited.
Greetings everyone, my name is Bife here. Welcome back to my beginner's guide to Destiny. Last time we covered the lore of the Awoken, who are without a doubt one of the most interesting groups in all of Destiny. However, this time we're going to be covering the no less fascinating but third playable race in Destiny, the Exos. The Exos are, much like the Awoken,
Oh my god, there's so many
which is to
mosquitoes.
say that at one point every Exo
My fish!
was a human being.
My poor
However,
fish!
unlike the Awoken of the Reef,
Yeah.
these robotic frames came
Yeah.
about not through some grand cosmic design
Shit.
of enigmatic queens and existential forces of the universe. Instead, they came about through
My poor
suffering,
little fish!
steel, and a single man's dream of insatiable desire. A desire for immortality. That man was Clovis Bray the First. It's fair to say that he was somewhat lacking for a moral compass, and that calling him a narcissist was a dramatic understatement.
Okay.
Clovis Bray was a morally reprehensible man, but he was also a genius. His goal, however, was to guide all of
Don't feed the
humanity
crab.
out into the stars, and to ultimately create for them the greatest possible future. The manner in which he wished to do this was by becoming the last universal common ancestor, or Luca, for all humanity. He believed
Well, I fucked up.
selfishly that this would provide humanity with its best chance at survival and glory into the future. This, however, was not something he would accomplish through the continuing on of his bloodline. He would instead become the Luca for all humanity by expanding the definition of human life. Whilst Genghis Khan is a universal common ancestor of something like 1 in every 200 men on Earth, today, through natural means, Clovis intended to see all of humanity in another sense become his progeny, or at very least to advance through mechanisms of his own design.
What's with the
thanks
crickets,
to the
dude?
process of
Huh?
synthetic
There's no need for that
ascension
many
of
crickets.
Sorceress. He wished for humanity.
There's no need.
And of course, for himself, to obtain immortality
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
through their
Yeah.
transcendence into mechanical bodies, which would be known as Exos.
Fish
The process
power!
of originally creating these Exos was
Power
something
of the
that
fish!
lasted long before the process was refined by Clovis Bray, and it was originally very flawed. In fact, these first few Exos couldn't truly be considered alive.
The
or at
power
least
of the
couldn't be
fish!
considered alive by the definitions of qualia required to ensure that there is indeed a functioning and healthy human mind within the chassis that they were installed into. They lacked basic traits that meant they essentially could function like real people, but then they would fail to display what properly maintained human personalities beyond any certain amount of time.
Power of
To
the
spare
fish
you a lot of jargon,
continues!
which I go over
All
in a
hail
different
the
video
fish!
in the
Oh,
series
fuck,
on the
they got a
channel,
peacock.
these early
shit.
proto-exos, as you might call
No,
them,
my
were
horse!
effectively about as human
My
as zombies.
Nene!
They didn't walk around
didn't
looking
even
for
whip.
brains to eat, of course, but those who became Exos saw their minds degrade with their digital shells until eventually they suffered death within the prisons of their own minds. Brain death, in fact, was the #1 fate of everybody who became one of the early Exos. They could react in certain ways.
Got him!
It was realistically just recursive
Stupid
pattern loops
swan!
in their heads. It wasn't true human stimulus and sudden reaction to it. It was what Clovis would have called billboarding. To solve this, Clovis knew he had to come up with a solution to this particular set of problems, and so he searched for answers. He found them first on the moon, thanks to an artifact of darkness known as the K1 artifact. If you go to the center of the Crucible map called Anomaly, and you see the big dodecahedron in the middle,
Dodecahedron.
K1 is contained within that.
Pow pow!
The K1 artifact directed
More
Clovis
fish!
Bray to search on the ice moon, a Jupiter known as Europa. There he would
I need
find
more fish.
than simply the cold of
The
the
fish power
surrounding
needs to
environment
continue.
and the radiation-soaked ice. He would also find something remarkable. He would call it clarity. It was essentially a statue of darkness, which projected a field around it with strange properties. Reductive properties.
Power of the
ones
fish.
that effectively induced a higher state of entropy. This field
Oh, fuck,
was
they
in
got a
several
hippo. God damn
instances
it.
lethal to the staff of the Clovis Bray Corporation, particularly when they tried to move the statue to some other location.
Oh, he also had
It
a
would also begin to
melon.
send Clovis Bray
My
strange visions whenever
fish.
he died, which was regularly given.
Oh, he's
before
gonna hurt my
Europa.
horse.
This is
No.
not to say that he resurrected himself by some strange means. His body was regularly revived and resuscitated thanks to the extensive modifications and equipment that he regularly brought with him. In these visions, it was made clear that the darkness wanted Clovis to build a Vex portal, and so, like the suggestible madman that he was,
Freeze!
he did exactly that. The portal can still be found in the Glassway strike on Europa at the very end. It's what the final boss emerges out of. And eventually, Clovis Bray and his team went
Why is
into
that?
the
Why do they
portal.
have 21
Within
health?
the portal,
Huh?
Clovis Bray found
How do they
what
have
is
so much
essentially
health?
a Vex
How?
superstructure.
Like, how is
A
this
structure
possible?
built around a
Am I
giant
missing
star,
something here?
A star that they would
I feel
call
like I'm missing
Volantis
something.
2082. This would also
I
be
love
nicknamed
banana.
the Forge Star.
I don't love
The Vex
banana.
essentially
No.
had created a project of mega engineering, something
Is banana
grander
what's getting that
even
crab
than a
fucking
Dyson
20 health?
sphere, something from which they were pulling raw materials which they would then be able to use to create whatever they needed. And beyond that, it looked as though they were also refueling the star, meaning that it would never die and could maintain its current size. Beyond all of
Hotheads, let's
that,
go.
Clovis
We
would
are-
also
we
find
are
Vex
the
Mind
hotheads!
Fluid, and him and his team would bring back Vex Mind Fluid through the Vex portal.
3 horses.
Clovis then
Okay,
discovered
interesting.
that when the mind fluid was
Pow.
exposed to the special field
Pow.
of the darkness statue,
Pow.
something remarkable happened.
Easy.
Clovis discovered that it turned the Vex mind fluid, which previously was a substance that could overwhelm and eventually kill any human subject it came into contact with, into a substance with reductive capabilities that worked to help create the conditions one would normally find within a human brain. Except this fluid, this new substance, could be used to create a more effective exomind and to solve the problems that we talked about earlier, meaning that past failings and previous iterations of the exo could in fact be fixed. With this discovery, Clovis had effectively
Pow,
done
pow.
it. He had discovered the means to grant humanity immortality through his exos.
What's with all the
With
bot? All the
this,
ants.
the exos
No need for
were
that.
born.
Pow pow.
Exos are seen
Fucking
as
ant.
robotic and in many instances are
Fucking
mistaken
ant.
just for robots.
Get out.
But they're not anywhere near
Shit.
as simple as something like, say, the
Shit.
frames that
Get
patrol
out.
the tower
Stop it.
and act as
No.
postmaster and do
No.
maintenance, such as sweeping things up. Exos are also not an artificial intelligence in the traditional sense, considering that they contain a real human mind in every case. They are, however,
Feed the
strong,
fish.
dependable, and easily capable of being ferocious warriors.
Fish
Make no
power
mistake,
above all else.
They each also have personalities, and due to their human minds, every single one of them is
Fish
as unique as
power!
any human being that you might encounter.
Yes.
Essentially, aside from their skin and bones being
I'm just
made
gonna buff the fuck
not
out of this fish.
cartilage or of skin cells, you're instead looking at someone who's simply made of steel and maybe some kind of advanced polymer.
Don't hit my
The
mosquito.
Exos are in many ways enigmas
I hate
even
you
to
back.
themselves, not
Eh.
completely understanding their European origins
Get out.
or the integral link to
Get out.
themselves and the darkness
Get
even
out.
from the beginning of their lives. Such secrets were closely guarded by Clovis Bray and those he trusted most.
I'm getting rid
There
of the
are,
horse.
however, ways in which
The horse is too
Exos
weak. I
still
need
don't
power.
completely understand themselves
Oh,
beyond even
frickin'
these
horse.
basic facts. The first of these is the enigma of the dreams that they all have. Some Exos dream of
Ah,
walking
shit.
through a field of golden millet to a tower where they will be at peace. Most others, though, experience only a constant battle to reach this same tower. Most Exos believe that this place is in fact the Deepstone Crypt, the place where they were born. At least the place where most Exos
No, they
were
got a
born.
fucking
There
ball
are
with a melon.
several exceptions. Exos are also, in a way, held captive by their own lack of memories, owing to the fact that they sometimes still suffer from the need to reset themselves. Let me explain. Most Exos will have a name.
He's gonna
yes,
survive as
but
well.
also
Oh,
have a
I hate
number
it.
that follows it, such as Saint 14, Lakshmi 2, Kate 6, Banshee 44, and 1. This number represents the number of times that they have been reset. Resetting is something that every Exo has to go through at some point because of something called
Okay.
dissociative exomind
You go away.
rejection, or DER.
You go there.
DER is basically an exo's human mind
You
recognizing
go away.
that they're not in a human body and then starting to reject their exo body and lose their human mind. To prevent this, exos must be reset, but in the process, they will lose all the memories of their former lives as whatever
Okay.
copies of themselves they were before. For example, Cade 6 will have been reset up to the point where his number has reached 6, meaning that previously he has been known as Cade
My
1, Cade 2, Cade 3, Cade 4,
I was
and
saying my
Cade
Pelican's
5.
better than you.
DER can also be staved off thanks to the humanisms and human features.
Yeah, I
that
got
are
a
built
melon now.
into
What you
the
gonna
bodies
do?
of all exos. For example, if
Eh.
you were previously a
Oh,
male
my
and
horse.
identified as such, you'd be less prone to DER if your exo body had male features that similarly matched your own. It's also a reason
poor
why
horse.
exos still do things such as eating and drinking, in spite of the fact that they have no nutritional requirement to do so. Furthermore, it's why exos do not have extreme modifications to them that might be possible considering their mechanical chassis. I won't go into too much detail, but the experiments of Clovis Bray are recorded in a logbook, and one terribly gruesome example is an exo which has a second set of arms grafted into their body. In other words, they have 4 arms and 2 legs instead of 2 arms and 2 legs, and the results are almost instantaneous and gruesome. DER is a problem, and this is why exos look like humans and have many human features. It's also worth noting that with each reset, exos don't necessarily know what happened in
Fuck
their
'em up.
previous mechanical
Get 'em out.
or human
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah, keep it
Probably
going.
the most important of
Don't give
all
him a
the
melon.
exos that we know in the story is that of the Exo Stranger. He has
Yeah!
introduced us to the powers of darkness, has shown us that the light is not the only power that Guardians can wield, and in this timeline has also been a link to her grandfather, Clovis Bray I. Yeah, the same Clovis Bray. Her real name is Elsie Bray, and she was there for most of the creation processes of the Exo. Elsie Bray was also Clovis Bray's granddaughter. Needless to say, that goes without saying because of the name. During her time on Europa, not only would she assist her grandfather in the creation of the Exos and become one herself due to the onset of a terrible genetic disease, which again was her grandfather's fault, but also she would, as an Exo, lead the other Exo.
I need to get
in
rid
a
of the
massive
fucking horse.
fight
The horse
on
ain't doing
Europa,
nothing for
a
me, I don't
war
think.
of sorts against the Vex. You see, after Clovis Bray had built the Glassway portal, the Vex began to invade through
Oh,
it.
this is screwed.
So
I'm screwed
Elsie
already.
Bray would begin to fight back against them with the assistance of many Exos at her side. One more notorious
wait.
figure at her side when
Hold.
she fought against the Vex was Banshee 44. Although, at this moment in time, he wasn't known as Banshee 44. In fact, he wasn't even known as Banshee. And the many battles that occurred show exactly how he got
Hold.
1 to 44. I'll go ahead and let you guys explore that topic out a little bit more on your own if you're
I'm
interested.
winning.
And I'll do so by linking my lore video on an exotic weapon that references this exact topic. It's called the Lament. It's an exotic sword from Beyond Light.
Oh, I
and
shouldn't
it's
have done
very
that
much
yet. I
worth
should have
getting
waited
if you
to
do
sell.
have Beyond Light.
You go there.
Fantastic stuff.
You go there.
At the end of the Vex invasion, ultimately, it was Elsie Bray's decision to put most of the facilities on Europa out of service. The only strange exception was that they didn't destroy the Vex gate
Okay.
should they need it in future instances. The Exos aren't a single coherent faction or nation. They are not a society, and they have
Oh,
no
it's gonna be
attached
rough.
ideology. What they do have is their memories, bound up and hidden in each of their minds. Their minds hold perhaps the greatest secrets of the Golden Age. If only we could unlock them. But that's all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found this a little bit more illuminating as to the history and basic lore and story surrounding the Exos.
Fucking
If you
go.
are finding these videos useful, go ahead and let me know by leaving a comment down below. And of course, go ahead and also hit subscribe for more videos in this series. My apologies that we took a bit of a break for it. I was ill previously, and you might still be able to hear some
Okay,
of it in my voice,
what else
so,
we got?
Yeah, again, sincerest apologies for that. Furthermore, if you
Hey, you know
enjoyed
what?
the
I know
video,
what
go
we can put
ahead
on.
and leave a like too.
I know
I'd
what we can
very
put
much
on.
appreciate that.
Where
But
is
as
it?
per usual, know that your viewership, as always, is quite enough for me, and that in the meantime, my name has been My Name is Bife. Porodasia Arastra.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's put this one on. Complete. Ah! There we go.
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Bife here. So a lot of you are either new to Destiny and want to jump in at
Pow.
Destiny 2 for
Pow.
the first time, or alternatively, you've been playing the game for 3 years now and you know nothing about what's going on.
That's me.
It's time to fix that. This video is going to go over the entire story of Destiny leading up to Destiny 2. Now,
Okay.
keep in mind, I'm
I think
gonna
this is
include
the
everything
play.
that I think is really important for newly minted
This is the play
players
right
or
here.
Someone who's just jumping back into the world again, so that you can all understand the base story and the world that Bungie has constructed. So don't expect me to jump into too many deep stories. For example, I'm not going to be exploring the Book of Sorrows.
Fuck, he's got a melon!
Full achievements of the Iron Lords.
Okay, but the melon's
I'm
gone.
certainly not going to be talking about Dredgen Yor and Jaren Ward because their story is not too relevant to everything we do in game. And I'm also going to be avoiding things about mysterious topics that we have really got so much left to discover.
Oh,
So
we're
it's
zooming.
fine.
Oh, they all got a
Regardless,
melon?
I have a few other things to say before we start. Firstly, note that
Fucking
whenever I
hold
go
the
into
phone.
City Age
Who gave
portion
them
of
all a
this
melon?
video and all of the history of Destiny,
Who gave
things
everyone a
are
melon?
going to get a little bit
Huh?
nondescript, and that's purely because we don't have a lot of timeline references for what happened then in City Age. The way that I'm presenting this is going to be the most logical string of events, and hopefully it's something which is close to the most accurate version of events. Also, there are two people that deserve shoutouts for the help that they've given on this video. The first of which is Octavius, who has helped create a lot of the skeletons
can
for
stay.
this script, which is now about 17 pages long. He most certainly worked his heart out for this, and I know that he is someone who deserves praise as a result. And secondly, Xander, who is the one who has done a lot
You
of
can
the graphics
stay.
work and doing cutouts of the various Guardians that are being represented throughout Destiny's timeline. Thanks and praise for both of those two in the comments section would be greatly appreciated. They have put a lot of work into this video just as I have. But without much further ado, let's
Alright.
begin.
Fuck it, let's go.
Starting with the modern day, and principally with an event that will change humanity forever.
Oh,
Imagine
I am dead.
tomorrow
I am
when
so
you wake up,
dead.
you turn on
Is it the
morning
worm?
news and all of a sudden you see that a
Oh.
mysterious object has appeared over Mars. This is the premise for the start of
I
our
am
modern
so
timeline of
dead.
Destiny. Something where all of a sudden humanity is presented with the notion
He has
that they are
50
indeed not
damage?
alone in the universe.
Oh my
And
god.
14 months later, humanity has prepared its response.
50
The globe has,
damage.
for but a small period of time, united, and the astronauts of America, Taikonauts
Oh
of
my
China,
God.
and cosmonauts of Russia have each chosen one of their best to take on this great honor and responsibility of the first manned mission to Mars, the mission that would live in history and would be known as Ares 1. These three would then take it upon themselves to explore the surface of Mars.
So chat, I have a
to
question.
approach the unknown object.
If
and to
I
understand what
click
had
end my
happened.
turn while I still have
Mars,
coins, are
of
those
course, is a
coins that I
planet with
have
little to no atmosphere, and yet
um,
when Ares
transfer
1
over to the next
came
round?
down onto the Martian surface,
Do they
in
transfer
the
over?
middle of a storm, the breath of God,
Oh,
as the
shit.
wind rattled off of their craft. This was no coincidence.
Fuck.
As the three explorers left their craft and set their sights upon the alien object, they realized for the first time one of its functions. It was terraforming Mars. And so, together, an astronaut, a cosmonaut, and a taikonaut stood and bore witness to the first Martian rains, and set their eyes upon the traveler. This would begin what is known as humanity's Golden Age, a time of incredible accomplishment in which humanity has made so many wonders that have now been lost. Human lifespans, for starters, were tripled. Those that lived to 100 in our day would be seen as some of the most long-lived of our species, but in their times, 90 was considered to be young. 300-year-old humans finally existed. All fundamental hatreds and intolerances quickly vanished, and, in a similar sense, the peoples of many nations merged. Nations meaning so much less when the people themselves are united in a common understanding that was born from this simple idea that we were not bound for our petty grievances and poorly thought out wars, but instead, we were born to conquer the stars. Our culture became founded in reasoning, intellectualism, and science, supporting core principles of debate on all sides and on all topics. Centers were founded in the name of progress and reason. The Ishtar Academy on Venus, for example, or the city of Freehold in the dusty red sands of Mars. And then there were other great human marvels. The Baikonur Cosmodrome was set into a
Right, let's find
massive
out.
center of exploration and colonization, and the great metropolis cityscapes of Titan rose above the waves. Truly, these are some of humanity's greatest miracles. Our technology advanced tenfold as well. The Centers of Science and Reasoning in the Ishtar Academy on Venus discovered an ancient alien race and their ruins. These were the Vex, and they had existed for many millennia before we had. But even then, there were greater discoveries still made by Clovis Bray. The fourth state of matter, known as Engram, was finally unveiled. This is a state in which data was free.
The fuck? What? Why does that rat give them some? No, you can get out.
Created and stored.
I don't want you there.
Actions. But there were so many more inventions than.
Hey, Livy.
these.
How you doing, bud?
Ore mines, for example, which were the pinnacle of Golden Age technology. From their massive complexes of underground bunkers, they could go forth, bearing weapons capable of scorching the skies of 1,000 worlds black with dust and fire. With their vast artificial intelligence, they could draw up battle plans to counter and defeat the most ingenious of foes in but the blink of an eye, and with their armies of constructs and frames, they could shatter regimes and blunt offensives from entire legions, one at a time or all at once. These were some of humanity's greatest weapons in the Golden Age, our greatest defenders.
This is a big
But in
oof.
addition to this,
Yikes.
came yet more curious forms of life.
Yikers.
The Ahamkara are one of particular note, but there are none as
Right.
well known to us now as
I'm gonna
the
start again.
Exos. These sentient
That ain't the
machines
play.
appear to have been created by the Clovis Bray Corporation as well. It's speculated by some that these are humans who are able to transfer their consciousness into a mechanical body and thus, theoretically, live forever. Regardless,
So yeah,
science by this point
enter
had
with
advanced so
excess
much that
gold.
the
If I
Exos were
enter
considered
with
as
excess
valuable
gold, does
for
that gold
society,
transfer over? Because I've got
just as
2
anyone
spare.
else would be. Though their
see.
programming also hints that their nature is a more violent one.
Lush
They are
rodents.
built and programmed for a relentless war, some great battle long ago forgotten. This is remembered as every single one of them dreams of the Deep Stone Crypt, where they fight an
School
army
makes
of
me miss
thousands
streams
of
sometimes.
foes that they know.
There's always, we've got the VOD channel.
Yet another of the
If you ever
inventions
need
of
to
the
catch
Clovis
up.
Bray
Oh, fuck.
Corporation would be once more something that would bear fruit in the golden age
Exclamation
of
point VOD in the
civilization
chat.
efforts.
That'll give you a link to the VOD
invention
channel.
of
You can catch up on
nanotechnology
any VODs that you missed.
programmed into anything imaginable.
Oh my god, a fish.
It could be simply
Fucking
directed towards the will,
fish. Oh, it's
and
VODs.
could do anything from
Oops.
creating habitation to rebreather suits. Such was the marvel of SIVA as a technology that immediately it
Let's
began
just
to be
change that
used
show.
by
There we go.
colonists looking to expand out into the stars. At this point, humanity's greatness shone like a beacon in the night, illuminating the stars and convincing us that our destiny was not to remain on Earth alone, falling prey to our petty squabbles from so many years ago, but was instead to ascend to greater heights. But as Icarus and Daedalus learned in the stories of old, pride can quickly turn to hubris. And
Here's
so
Gary
was the way
Ducks.
for us.
Who uses
Our
ducks?
golden age and its days
Fucking
of glory
ducks. Come on
were
now.
numbered.
Get those ducks out of
From
here.
beyond the reaches of
Get
our
'em
solar
out!
system, the war minds detected something.
Gone.
A subtle set of signs, but they knew how to interpret their meaning. Something was approaching. Something that spelled out doom.
Ta-da!
It was at this moment that the Exodus Project truly began. Our great effort to save our people from near certain annihilation. Millions of people were loaded onto colony ships, bound for destinations beyond the reaches of the oncoming catastrophe. But in spite of our efforts, in spite of the work of all the war mines, in spite of the submines like Malahiyati, and in spite of General Chen Lanshu and her valiant efforts, it was too little, too late. As the thousands of vessels began to reach the edges of the asteroid
Peacock.
belt, something terrible began to sweep through the solar system.
That's a peacock nose, right?
The war minds raised their mighty weapons to respond with
And they got
force
yellow
blows
poo
that
on their
could
head.
shatter the stars, and yet even
Pow.
this could not stop the oncoming tide. This force swept through the space that we had known and conquered and decimated all that stood in its way. Those unfortunate enough to be on board the colony ships died in their stasis pods, and the debris from the destruction caused the creation of a vile wreath of dead ships and orbiting stations in the asteroid belt. The rubble from this terrifying event still remains.
The lush rodents.
In the
That's
chaos of
us.
struggle, the Warmind
We're
Rasputin,
lush.
the first and greatest of the Warmind, the very defender of Earth itself, our home planet, the jewel of our stars, could comprehend the terrible power of this new threat. It was not simply the many alien races that had
I'm gonna
come
buff the
and
fuck out of
conquered
this
our
peacock,
diverse
alright?
territories.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
this was something more powerful.
Give me that.
Something that reached beyond the bounds of the physical universe. Something that defied simple causality. Something that could even bend the universe to its will, much like the Traveler could. This was our ultimate enemy. The one that we would come to know as the Darkness. This terrible miasma that would wind its way through every coiled path, choking and draining the life from all that it touched. But even here, Rasputin could sense yet another threat. The Traveler was on the move. Once more it was leaving the system, and without the Traveler,
I'm
all of
screwed.
humanity was certainly doomed. What happened
I'm
next
screwed.
is not clear.
I'm dead.
Records of this time are all
Ah!
lost. Our best source being the journals of Ancient. They speak of a terrible time of cataclysm, of how the darkness took hold of entire worlds and every living being on
This ain't
those
the play.
worlds, taking each of them individually in its grasp, leaving them in agony, but allowing them to maintain their clarity of vision. It wanted them to see this. It wanted them to see the engulfing of worlds around them, letting every
Which one is
last
this?
one of
This
them,
is
every
Destiny
lost
lore
life,
from
go
Destiny 1 to 2.
undeniably with one bit of knowledge. Our worlds no longer belonged to us. They belonged to the darkness, and our destruction at its hands were for the sin of our strength not being great enough. Some speculate that what happened next was the actions of Rasputin, who might have attacked the Traveler in order to prevent
The whole
its
story
departure.
from Destiny 1 to up
Others
to
state
Destiny
that
2,
the
yeah.
Traveler simply took pity upon us all and would have died regardless to save us. And some
Yeah, it's only an
still
hour and
insist
31
that
minutes.
The Traveler was not retreating at all, but merely trying to find the perfect patch of ground from which it might be able to battle the darkness.
Hello,
But what
Troy.
is clear is this: the darkness and the Traveler both
Level up!
battled above Earth in a contest of power that would shake the heavens and the very foundations of the universe. And what is more, the Traveler won. Crippled and broken but victorious, in those last moments of its dying breath, the Traveler created the Ghosts, small autonomous drones filled with its light. These ghosts would be the salvation of humanity by seeking out those amongst the long
How you doing, Troy?
dead who would be capable of wielding the Traveler's light as a weapon. Something to fight back the darkness. Something that could save us. Whilst they would first be known as the Risen, and would eventually be called Warlords or Iron Lords, these brave souls chosen to fight again within the Traveler's light
Fucking
would be known
horses.
to us today by a single name. They would be known as the Guardians. On the fringes of the solar system,
Oh my
just as
god,
this
we
was
got a
occurring,
fish.
yet another new form of life
Oh,
was
oh,
appearing.
oh, we got a fish. It's
With
over.
their grey skin
It's fucking
and
over.
a potent mixture of both light and darkness running through their veins, the
Fish.
awakening began to
Spider.
first appear. But even on the horizon,
It's fucking. It's
there was
over
yet
for you.
more ill news.
It's over for you.
Strange and deadly alien
Whoever
forces
comes up, it's
that had
over for
arrived
you.
With the collapse were encroaching still on the
Alright?
territories of what
Just face
remained
it, it's
of our
over.
Golden Age colonies. These four races would come to be known by the remaining peoples of Earth as the Fallen, Hive, Vex, and Cabal. And so, with humanity,
How the fuck are they wearing nurses' hats, dude?
our
What the hell?
Golden Age lost and our system
They've already
being
just. They've already
overrun by
killed my
hostile
spy. Oh
forces,
no, not a skunk.
the near-apocalyptic
Not a
events
skunk.
that would
No,
come to be
not a
known as
skunk.
the collapse,
Don't buff the skunk.
and the dark age
Leave
of
the
humanity
skunk alone.
began. At first, there
The
were
skunk
very
is gonna
few
kill us
people who
all.
remained united.
Ready?
Some formed into small towns and banded
Wait.
together for safety.
Oh, we live.
But many
That's a
on Earth
badger. Wait,
came to
what?
be ruled over by
Is that
the
a badger?
warlords.
Wait,
These were some of the first risen,
was that a badger?
who
That
instead of
looked like a
using their
skunk.
power for
Alright.
good, would come to use their powers for dominance. They ruled over
It looked like
Earth
a
and
skunk.
used their
Alright.
powers to control the vast tracts of its territory. In opposition to these forces, however, there were some that stood against
Are you sure?
democracy that
I'm pretty sure that was a skunk.
some who stood against the tyranny of the warlords.
Hey, look,
and
it's a
stated
guardian
that
with a
hope
beard. Why
should
don't we
still
see
be
that
the
yet?
center of the human life.
Why don't we have that?
Everyone deserved a chance. Led by a man named Radagast, the first protectors of humanity would rise to defend us.
Buff the fish.
They would be
Buff
known
the
as
fish.
Iron
No,
Lords,
the fish.
And whilst refugees
The fish
in
is
small
king.
towns cowered under the tyranny of the warlords, the Iron Lords came to their defense, liberating them and defending those who stood against
I'm
tyranny.
fucking better than all you in this game.
There were refugees.
Oh, yeah, daddy.
Place to call home. Long
A skunk is a
continuous
different thing.
hordes
I'm
of
pretty. That look like a
survivors,
skunk.
humans
All right.
popping up from everywhere,
It looked
the
like a skunk.
occasional awoken, traveling far from their reef-born home. Many traveled to below the traveler, to the spot of its final climactic
Peacock!
battle with the darkness. These refugees would organize into a massive camp, defended once more by those risen with the traveler's light, great men and women like Razor Lazir.
Better than everyone. No, better than everyone that's a computer in this game.
This camp of refugees
My
turned
fish is
into
better than
something
your
more
fish.
violent. Rudimentary factions
My
began to
fish is
rise,
better than yours.
each with
All right,
their
see,
own
look at that. My
opinions
fish
on how
is
we
just
should
fucking
lead
the best.
humanity back to
No one can
prosperity.
destroy my fish.
From these differences, the first
Oh
faction
fuck, he's
was
got a melon.
rose. Had it not been for those
Shit.
that stood and stopped the terrible
It was a
violence,
badger. I'm
humanity
sure.
might well have been snuffed out right then and there.
Woo!
But from the aftermath of this first faction
Ah!
war,
Want to set up a
the
lobby with
leaders
me
of
and
the
Zach? I
city
mean,
created
fuck
a
it,
new
let's go.
system of
Let me
governance.
just win this.
The factions would be forever tempered by each other's wills, as well as the newly created
All right,
Vanguard,
low key.
council of 3 guardians, one of each discipline: Hunter, Warlock, and Titan.
You go bye bye.
All proposals would
You
be
go there.
voted upon and would be sent to the speaker.
Then you go there.
the grand
And
leader of
then
the city,
pow pow pow
the
pow.
ruler of the Guardian
Beefy ball.
all of this had to
Oh,
be
hell
put
yeah.
in for approval. And so the passion
Fuck
of
it,
the
buff up
factions
the
was
ball.
put in check. The authority of the Guardians was made clear, and the first ever consensus council of the city resolved
I'm buffing up the ball.
better and greater than those that came before.
Look at that. No one can kill my bull.
And that
My
resolve
bull is
was soon
unkillable.
put to a test. For the next challenge would not come from within, but from without.
My bull is
The alien
unkillable.
races that had arrived in force at the close of the collapse had taken root in both our outer colonies and in the vast territories on Earth. From the Mumbai Push to the European Dead Zone,
Pow
from
pow.
the swamps of old Chicago to the abandoned Cosmodrome at Baikonur.
That dog is going to be an issue.
This,
That dog's going to
the
be a
city
big
had
issue.
to face against incursions by one particularly craven alien race, known as the Fallen.
Never mind.
Previously,
Oh
they
shit.
had been known as Elixni.
Okay, that's fine.
These bipedal
Ha
aliens
ha!
had changed ever since
I
they
win!
had been uplifted by the Traveler. It had left them too.
The fucking
and
skunk
this
did
had
it!
Turned them from a once noble race
I've always liked that
into a
skunk.
race of spider-like pirates, scavengers, forever hunting the Traveler, or the Great Machine, as they called it in their time. They sought to return it to their fold, so that their species might hopefully
Fish!
enjoy the bounties of
Buff the
second golden
fish!
age as a result. But this would not be
Okay.
accomplished without bloodshed.
That's all I
And
need.
So what started
all I
as
need.
a small band of raiding parties taking on a small settlement evolved into a perpetual siege that would define the very existence.
Oh, they got a
of those
fucking
that
whale.
lived within
Oh,
the
they got a
walls of
ball.
this
Oh, no.
small city. And so,
Uh-oh.
in response, the Titans of the city devised a plan. They built a great series of walls to encompass the city and keep those that they protected safe from harm. And so
We got a
the walls
pig
were
with a
built,
melon. I hate that.
the city grew, and those
Dead.
within this final bastion.
Shit,
found
I'm
some
dead.
small vestige
Wait, I'm not
of
dead.
humanity. This is not to say that the city was the only place in
Woo!
which humans dwelled. Many towns within the
Banana!
wilds of Earth, such as the fabled settlement of Palamon, still stood, providing shelter and respite for those outside of the city. But such small towns, whilst occasionally raided by the Fallen, were but petty distractions. The true prize for the Fallen was the great machine itself, that rested in the sky above this last safe city, this well-defended bastion. And so,
Oh,
day
shit.
by day, they sat in envy of humanity.
This could be
until
GG's,
that
guys.
envy became
This
too
could be
great to
GG's.
contain. The House of Devils, located primarily within the abandoned territories of Europe, Russia, and
Oh
Asia
my god,
Minor,
that fish has
marched
22
upon the
health.
city in force, bringing the full might of their house to bear. This was a true test of the city's new defenses, which had only recently been
Uh-oh.
erected. But the Titan orders of the city were
Don't worry, the
prepared.
skunk's gonna come in and
All
win.
orders of Titans came together.
Fucking
with
Rue.
coordination and steel
Shit.
held a defense that covered the 6
See, that's why
approaches to
the fish is OP.
the Fallen's artillery roared.
The fish is
and
ridiculous.
Legions of soldiers howled 1,000
The
times
fable
to
golden
recognize
poop.
the city. But by the
It's
time the dust had
God
settled,
didn't
the
poop.
devils were forced to retreat en masse, and not a single one of these 6 fronts had broken. This was the first true trial of the city and its defenders.
Imagine a panda
From
mix,
this
I
day
called it a
forth would be
skunk.
known as the Battle of the 6 Fronts. It would forevermore be remembered as a symbol that marks Titan iconography to this day, and would also
Fuck it, let's see
give
what happens.
rise to some of the most legendary guardians the city has ever known. But most importantly of all, this marked the beginning of a new age. An age where humanity could find newly restored
No,
hope under the
Micro!
Traveler's shadow.
Wait.
This
Woo!
would be known as the
Whale!
Silver Age. The
Wait, don't
time
eat
when
my
we
dog.
started to fight back.
Is that whale gonna eat my dog? Wait.
In the aftermath of
Wait.
the Battle of the 6 Fronts, one of the most notorious defenders of the city was a warlock who was said from eyewitness reports to have appeared as if he was fighting in multiple
Where are all these
pieces of
chickens coming from?
The name of this powerful warlock
Eh.
was Osiris, and so great was his power that many of the other heroes of the city
I'll take that.
began to rally
Yeah, I'll
around
take that.
him. Most
No!
notably, the
Ah,
honored
shit.
exo-titan known as Saint 14. He called upon the speaker to appoint Osiris Vanguard as its warlock mentor. Such was the speaker's relationship to Saint 14 that the two took to each other's words with great care. They even referred to each other as father and son. And so Saint 14, joining the chorus of supporting voices, convinced the speaker to appoint Osiris to the warlock vanguard position. To join them, going even as far as to take him as his own apprentice, to teach him what he knew, so that one day perhaps he might become the new speaker for the Traveler. However, there was one
Our illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Dat, a faction that had grown
Ginger
in
Ninja,
influence
thank
over the
you
city,
for
stated
the
that Osiris
12
was
months. That's a
unstable,
whole year
that
of
he had been misincarnated.
Prime Gaming. Thank you, Ginger Ninja. How you doing, buddy? Exclamation point sub in the chat.
His claims
Used to
were
get
quickly
X attack,
dismissed.
1 health on
Consensus
death, whale
continued its
eats
work.
unit in
With
front,
Osiris now
triggering
as one of
it
the
on
most
death
senior members of its
ability,
council.
whilst then
Meanwhile,
spawning rooster on death.
Some new legends rose.
Oh.
Others were sadly doomed to fall.
Don't worry,
The Iron
my
Lord
fish is going to
had
get
grown
super buff
considerably in
and it's
their
going to be
strength
unstoppable.
and had conquered the warlords entirely from their fortress temple at Vostok Observatory. From above,
Rooster,
they
spawn
watched
thing,
over the vast
whale,
lands of
another
our
rooster,
forefathers
spawn thing.
and kept a
I just
steady
got
vigil,
unlucky, is what you're saying to
defending
me.
the city and the rest of humanity from afar. But as their ranks swelled to hundreds and the fires of
okay.
the Iron Temple grew stronger, their leader, Radagast, was filled with discontent.
Fucking Radagast.
Him and many of the other
Why is there a
Iron Lords
level
sought a
3
way to
swan?
rekindle the golden
Huh?
age that they had lost. Lord Timur believed that he had
Timur!
discovered in the form of a golden age technology left
Never gets
behind
old.
by Clovis Bray,
Never gets old.
namely Siva, the nanotechnology that could not only aid in the colonization efforts so far out in the far-flung colonial worlds, but could also
Hello, Livy.
disrupt the marvels of humanity's golden age here at home,
I hate this game.
returning us to our place
I hate
amongst
it.
the stars. But Radagast, who held so firmly to his
Oh.
belief that the technology of the past was the key to our
Oh, God.
was
I hate it.
blinded
But I
by the
love it.
true danger that Siva presented. More than 100 Iron Lords marched into the Cosmodrome to reclaim Siva. But
That was a good
Rasputin,
run, yeah.
who still
That was a good run.
maintained control of the nanotechnology, gave a directive to the billions of nanites that would spell
Troy, you
doom
wanting to
for
play?
the Iron Lords.
Or is
The directive was simple.
Caesar wanting to play as well? Wait, can you do like a 3v3?
Conversation he'd had with the Iron Lord Exo Warlock fell
5 wins, good run, but 10 is better. All right, and I want 10.
eliminate, immunize.
I want 10.
And with that, Siva was unleashed upon the Iron Lords within the northeastern
I want 10.
sector of the
All right,
Cosmodrome,
not 5.
breaking them and consuming
10.
them all one at a time. only 9 Iron Lords managed to reach the replication chamber that was the source.
Yeah,
of
we
all
can do a
Siva.
3v3. Let's go.
In the end, Lady Yolda set off an explosion and sealed the doors of this chamber, thus preventing more Siva from
1v1v1. I'm down for a 1v1v1. Where is he?
By the end of the
Is he
battle,
around?
the Iron Lords were crippled. Only 2 Iron Lords remained. The hunter, Lady Ephrodite, who quickly fled and abandoned her
1v1v1v1v1.
and Lord Saladin, who would be the lone sentinel to stand over the Iron Temple and watch its braziers dim.
Come on, mama.
All the while, more threats were marshalling, and the city once again would have to face these terrible threats. Without the Iron Lords defending the territories of Earth or pushing back the fallen houses further, the city became vulnerable once more. And so, the
No
Fallen
worries.
once
Let me
again
go.
began to
Let me do
create a
one more run. I want to try
plan
one more
to
run.
reclaim the Traveler.
Okay.
However,
All right.
in the light of the Devil's failure at the Battle of the Six Fronts, it was clear that no single house could conquer the
Wavy
city.
tea bags.
So, 4 fallen houses united to attack the city in unison.
The wavy
The
tea
houses of
bags.
Devils,
Love it.
Kings, Winter, and Wolves united their forces into one of the greatest armadas that the system of Sol had ever borne witness to.
Did I just lose to a fucking horse? No! Sell everything. Bingo. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, fuck. Yeah, hit the fish. That fish is trash. No, not my beaver. Get the fuck out of here. Get him out. Bang! Get him out. Not my beaver! Wait, we drew? Ah! Okay, dude. Yeah, fucking give me the dodo. Dodo? 2 dodos. No way, strike. Bum, 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 bum. Smack that horse. Wow. How? Beef up the dodo. I'm sorry, bud, but you're going. I'm getting the roux. Troy and Caesar if he is around. The blistering rivalry continues. Hey, look, it's a skunk! Chat, they have a skunk! Ooh! Oh, shit. I'm fucking better than all of you. My kangaroo is undefeated. Right, who's swapping out? You. You go there. You go there. You go there. Fish! Freeze the fish! My lies and slander hurt your soul, and that feeds my soul. So ergo, I like it. Pow! Pow! Fucking dodo. Get it out of here. Oh, they got a sheep. Ah, thick. Yeah, that camel's getting kind of buff. Oh, yikes. Shit! I need something better up front. Ooh, I know! A fish! This, I know this full well this ain't gonna work. Fucking hit that rooster. Yeah. Fucking hit him. My love of fish is very wholesome. The fish is strong, alright? I vibe with the fish. Not the snail, though. Fuck the snail. Fucking chicken! I'm better than you. The dolphin. Ah. Go swap you out for the dolphin. I should have used that, to be fair. The sleeping pill instead of selling. I think. No. Yeah? No? I don't know. Dodo! A roo! We'll keep that as well. All right. Oh my god! Oh, the hippo's fucked. The hippo's fucked. Never mind. Never mind. A snail. Get out. Give me another fish. I need a fish. I'm being trolled here by this game. This game's trolling me. All right. Game's trolling me. How has that whale got a melon? How has the whale got a melon? At the gate. Ah! Buy melon off from armor if it comes up in the shop. I've never seen that. Fucking kangaroo piece of shit. All right. Boom, 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 da boom. All right, Troy. Has Caesar replied? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, no worries. Not a problem. Right, now I'm gonna That sounded more like a cat than anything else. All right, Troy. If I say I have one coin left, right? If I end turn with that 1 coin, does it transfer it over or do I lose it? That amount, is it worth me just spending all my coins or will it? No, I lose it. All right, fuck it. Fucking. Oh no, they're otters. They're not beavers. They're otters, not beavers. Chat, you dummy. You dummy. God. Dry bamboos. Goodbye, Em. I'm gonna get beat by a fish. Look at that speed. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fuck. Shit. Fishy, fishy. We'll have a fishy on a little dishy. Also have a fishy when the boat comes in. Da 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 da. Yeah, fuck it. Let me save both the cupcake. Unbeatable team I have right here. Absolutely unbeatable. Nothing can kill my team. Nothing. Nothing can kill it. Nothing. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm going again. I'm going again. What the fuck is this? Fishy! Sticky tentacles. Oh my god, I'm a child. I've lost again. Gushing eyes. Ugh. Ugh. No worries, Troy. How many ducks do you want? Doesn't matter because they're all dead. Oh shit. Yay, level 2, fantastic. Woo! All right. Create private. Enter game name. Uber. 2. Wait, do you, are you, oh wait. Does that mean someone's just gonna join? Poop butt? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me have a look. Join public. Oh wait, no. No, I don't want to go in a queue. Ah! Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. Alright, Troy. Join up when you're ready. Boom, 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 boom. Ba 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 da ba da ba. You're in gaming. Okay. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
To go, mate. You're right.
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Not too shabby.
I'm ready to beat you. Honestly, in the video game.
That's in the video game, not real life.
No, I've got to say in video game, or else I get sued.
Oh, that's true. Gotta protect the finances.
True.
So, versus mode. I'll create a lobby.
Oh, I've already made one. It's called Poop Butt.
Fantastic. one word.
Poop Butt. All one word. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Would it be any other way? Oh boy.
We're in.
All right, no cheating. All right.
Yeah, I'm not looking at.
All right. That's gonna go there. Right. Oh, you're so fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so screwed. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah.
It'll be the vague legs.
I'm the offensive soup. All right. All hail the power of the fish.
Your team is good, but it's not quite Carling.
Oh crap. Oh come on, dude.
Right, let's have a look. Put that there.
All right, I'll just let you win that time. All right. Oh, that's good.
I think this is fine. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dodo's pretty good. I think you win. Yeah.
All right, I don't. The horse still may beat me.
Ooh. Puppy.
Woo!
Ooh.
Woo!
Puppy. We're busting and moving and shaking out here.
Oh yeah.
I should have sold this fucking duck.
The fucking duck.
Yeah. That's fine. Actually works out better that I didn't sell it. I mean, I might lose, but small price to pay.
That's groovy, that is. That's so groovy.
What's he got? Oh, he's got a swan. Not bad.
That's what swans make, right?
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Oh, you got a
draw.
fucking bull. Oh, I hate them so much.
I'll take a draw. It's not bad.
I hate that. I don't like drawing. I only like winning.
Understandable.
Okay.
What if we did this?
What if we did this and then we did that? Okay.
I'm gonna level with you, Juicy. I don't know how you beat this team.
We'll see. Just wait. Oh shit. What the fuck is that?
It's very strong.
Oh my god. Get that peacock out of here. Yep, here comes the bull. Yep, with the melon. Yep, oh, yep, there's a bee. Yep, oh yeah, 11 damage. 11 damage, still a melon. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, I can come back from this.
I believe in you, Juicy.
At least one of us does.
Jesus wept.
I don't like that sound. I don't like that.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going with that.
Oh my god.
Stop it.
No.
No. Are you serious? I know.
I don't know if it wins, but
I
I'll take it.
I feel like it will.
I got very lucky. I got 3 kangaroos there.
Okay. Okay. I believe in this round.
Oh, he's got the meat.
Got an onion? Come on now. I'm gonna get screwed regardless because you got the bowl with a melon. Wait, did you put a melon on your bowl?
I killed the unit in front of it. So the fish that I had with a bee, I pilled the fish so that it procs the bull's ability.
Wait, does it proc it before you start?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's sick. Maybe we freeze that. Freeze that.
No, don't freeze anything. No freezing.
This is fine. Okay.
So you win.
I'm just getting very lucky with the scaling, I think. It's basically just the kangaroo, which is just like
Ridiculous.
fully, yeah, it's like fully sending.
Don't worry, I can bring it back. Oh, Shantae.
My peacock is very big.
Excuse me.
That one was for sofa.
Hmm. Just in case. Fucking monkey, get it out of here!
I can kind of see what you're doing, but
Yeah, no, there's no way.
the bees are making my kangaroo like really strong.
Yeah, they are. I didn't realize that would happen. Oh my god. 33! Oh my Jesus.
It is big. I think I don't really need this. That's fine.
Okay. This is one last play. That's all I got left. I got nothing. I think your peacock starts with 19 is disgusting.
Yeah, it's kind of strong. The shark's getting pretty big, to be fair.
That's what I'm hoping, but I don't think it's gonna do. It's not gonna be enough.
Wait, fair play.
Dang it! All right, we're going again.
Sure thing. Let me know. Let me know what the deeds are. If you really desperately want to do poop bar again, you can do poop bar again.
I'm gonna do poop bar again.
Okay.
There we go. Bum 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 bum.
Nice.
Oh fuck.
Loose chunks is the name of the game.
Wait to see my name.
The huge balls.
The huge balls.
It appears I have. Oh, I thought I lost, but we have drawn. Pog.
Just telling you, it's the huge balls that are doing it.
Oh my giddy goodness, that's kind of nutty.
Oh, don't say that.
Maybe I do this. Yes. The ordering should have been a bit different there, I think. But that's fine.
That's a lot of horses.
Yeah. Still draw though.
We draw again.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going for. Don't know how this is gonna work out, but I've got a plan.
Okay.
Fucking spider and pufferfish. I hate that. So my plan didn't go to. Okay. Exactly to plan. Oh, didn't mean to. Oh, fuck! I didn't mean to do that. Shit. Oh, screwed up. You've probably won this one. I screwed up majorly on that one. But oh well. We'll see. I did not mean to give the meat to the duck.
Okay. I mean, the duck's not a bad candidate for meat, to be fair.
I don't really know what to use it for. Is it to sell it to gives health, right? To yeah. Oh, to people in the shop. Oh, that's where I'm going wrong. Okay, we do that. And that goes there. That goes there. Okay. So how does the 1v1v1 work in this?
I think you just take turns. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, you just take turns. You get matched up with
Got killed by my own.
a random person from that, and it kind of saves like where they're at, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
On each round.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I do like another pufferfish.
No, you don't. You don't need one.
Do that.
I am not getting anything good. What does a snail? What does that do? What does a snail do?
Snail is if you lose, you get +2. Wait, is it +2, +1, or +1, +2 to all your ally?
My God,
Peoples.
why haven't I been using that?
It takes time. Like, there's so many different abilities and procs and stuff. Like, it's all groovy.
Oh, we had 10 health. Fucking pufferfish.
You do be stinky. I think it's still a ooh,
So close.
1 HP. God damn. That was tight. Nice. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Sure.
Okay. Okay, this didn't go as well as I thought it was gonna go.
Pufferfish is very beefy.
Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it. None fun.
That's good. That's suddenly very good.
Oh, sorry, chat. I just showed you my belly button. That means you owe me 10 gifted subs now. I'm gonna ban pufferfish. I'm gonna ban it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Ooh.
Screw it. Let's see what happens with that. It's probably not gonna work. Your pufferfish probably gonna kill my entire team.
Let's just see what happens, you know.
I know I'm not a clairvoyant or anything, but I think I know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
That is what a clairvoyant does, right? They see into the future.
Yes.
Oh, so smart. 22 and 20.
He's big. He's big.
He's big. Oh my god! Not the bunny. Oh, let's go again.
Yeah. We can do one more like verses, and then maybe I can like, we can like do a combined one.
Yeah, sure.
We should just be like, I'll just like watch stream.
Yeah, no worries. Tis poop butt again.
Oop, but
I love that.
Oh,
Versus is out again. Let us know if it works.
this is a bad shop. Okay, this is somehow a good shop. I'm the Suave Cakes.
The folded herbs. You gotta fold them herbs. What the fuck? Come on! I get 2 ducks, you get 2 mosquitoes and a fucking ant.
Yeah.
This game hates me.
Oh my god.
Stop.
What do I do here? It's insane. In fact, I probably don't freeze that, but I do that. Yeah. This is fine. You have an elephant already? What the? What?
Bitches come out to play.
Big B meta.
Oh, come on! Oh, I thought I had it!
That's a bad unit. That's another bad unit. Okay, but you know what? I'm gonna run with it anyway. Oh, Jesus, that's a good shot. Okay, this is a loss for this next one, but it's fine.
Okay. Oh, the bunny.
Oh wait. Okay. I'm really, really sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's do that. Do that. Interesting. That's not at all how I thought that was going to work, but that's fine. Adds HP. That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Don't you touch my elephant.
Oh no, this is really bad for me.
Yeah. I got a kangaroo now.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Okay, let me pivot real
want
hard.
one.
Let's do this. Okay. This is an interesting maneuver.
There we go. Wow. Wow. Bouldered Herb's making a comeback.
Yeah, almost certainly. Let's have a look. What we running here?
So many bunnies.
Okay, there we go. That's how we counter that. And we still lose, but that's fine. Still close. Okay.
No worries, man. Catch you later, dude. Thank you for stopping by.
Damn it.
Okay. Oh, that'll work.
This is better. We're in a full transition period. please bear with me whilst I get destroyed once again. This kangaroo at the back is just, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
It's something way better.
Okay. I see why people find this game so addicting.
Yeah. That's just literally the worst place you could put that. No. You're getting so lucky with these ant buffs,
I
man.
am.
It's
I
literally
really am.
sending me into oblivion.
I'm getting very lucky.
Let's go. That. Guess I need to freeze this. That. Hmm.
Okay. What does the peanuts do on the scorpion?
It's an insta kill.
Oh. Is that how you're planning to trying to get rid of my kangaroo? No!
It just about worked out.
Ah, you son of a bitch. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Shit.
The big comeback.
God damn it.
It's on the cards. Do that. Let's definitely do that. Oh my giddy aunt, that's absolutely unbelievable. So that is during... Yeah, twice in battle. Okay. Okay.
Oh, come on.
The hippo pop-off era.
Yeah.
It cometh.
Yeah.
Watch it go. Watch it go.
It go brr.
It's now a 40-26, 48-25, 50-29.
What the hell have I just witnessed?
Hippo tiger, baby.
Oh, I know, Fear. It's been announced for a while, to be fair. They showed a teaser for it not, well, a while ago, to be fair. Fuck. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens there. That was gonna do anything because you got your fucking hippo at the front, but oh hell,
Yeah.
look at him!
Yeah.
Have you just been pumping everything into that hippo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yep.
my god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So basically, when a hippo gets a kill, it scales at level 2 with +4 attack, +4 HP. If you put a tiger behind it, that goes to +8. So every time it gets a kill, that's the buff that it gets.
I don't like that.
It's pretty gross.
I don't like that. That's not fun.
If it's any consolation, I found it very fun.
God, I'm sure you did. I had a little inkling that I might have won, but you know, the hippo quickly fucking ruined that.
Real hippo hours.
True, very true.
Yeah, I can watch you play a game
Yeah, sure.
and tell you like what my mindset would be with like each shop and stuff.
Sure, I'm down. Okay. I've got
So
a...
this automatically is a very bad shop.
Yes, it is.
I would, my opinion, buy a mosquito. maybe just roll actually, and place the horse and then the mosquito.
Well, like that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which order they're in
Oh, okay.
technically, but yeah, just you want to make sure that you get the buff
Okay.
from the horse onto the new thing. Nice,
Yeah,
the subtle
The
kilts.
subtle kilts.
Very cute. Let's have a look. Nice, looks like a win.
Easiest game of my life.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh.
So, oh, this is good. So,
What is it?
buy those 2 otters.
And put them.
Just put them separate.
Okay.
So don't combine them. And then roll once. Freeze that. Actually, no. Buy the otter and combine it with one of them, but don't go for a level. Don't go for the full combine.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's ready to run.
Let's go.
Basically, you want to save your combines for like the next round.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this. This is beautiful.
Disgusting.
Yeah, there we go. Another win.
I like
So now,
winning.
so now you've unlocked tier 2. You want to do a combine on the otters.
So combine them both.
Yeah, combine the otters, and then you'll unlock a tier 3 unit,
Oh.
which is a badger, so that can go at the back. That's good. As like a last resort.
Yeah.
You could probably, if you buy the mosquito and combine them, that's probably quite.
Should I
quite
put
good.
it to the 4-4 one or the 2-2 one?
Yeah, 4-4-1. I think do a full combine on this one to
Okay.
unlock another tier 3 unit. See what you get.
Pufferfish.
Pufferfish is very good. I think you just stick the pufferfish at the front, honestly.
There we go.
And then I think you've got a roll left.
Yeah.
So you can have a little roll. See what you get.
The fish.
The fish is a bit late now, I think. Yeah, I don't think you freeze anything from that shop either.
Okay.
I think you're good. I think we get rid of the horse soon. Actually, they've got a really weak unit up front. That's really unfortunate for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it shoots the pufferfish. It does not. That's an interesting build.
I'll take what? Oh.
Okay, we got the draw. Nice.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Crazy build. Okay. So this is a sell the otter. I think you can buy a peacock.
Yes. Shall I put it where it was there?
Yeah. So you get a nice horse buff here, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can sell the horse, honestly. I think the horse has kind of outlived its usefulness.
It is now
Then-
glue.
Then if you move the peacock up into the second space,
Yeah.
and then put the flamingo in the front space. How much gold do you have left?
7. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize my camera was in front of it. Yeah, I got 7
No,
left.
that's cool. Now pill the flamingo.
Oh, that's what it does. Oh, okay.
Basically, it just kills the animal. So
Okay.
yeah, so we can roll. We're basically just looking for a fill spot in here. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Could be an elephant, you know.
Elephant?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's an elephant. So am I right in thinking you've got 2 gold left
Yeah,
now, right?
2 gold left.
Okay, roll once more. So I can see if there's anything worth
Big
buying.
shrimp and beaver.
Nah, I think you roll once more, see if there's anything to freeze.
Spider?
Spider's a potential, but I think it's not. It doesn't really do enough. I don't think. I think you can leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay.
So what the elephant will do before it attacks is it will hit your pufferfish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically just gonna proc. It's gonna proc a couple of times, and hopefully kill some things. Worst comes to worst, it's just like dealing extra damage. Yeah, see, it's just doing bits.
We win!
Yep, huge. Okay, got tier 3 animals unlocked.
We got a beaver.
I don't think we want anything from this. We haven't had to use our badger yet, so
Oh, yeah, it's a bad. I keep calling it a beaver.
yes. Let's roll. Garlic armor is very, very good on the elephant right now.
Okay.
I'm tempted to suggest the salad bowl as well, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking. Because it gives it to all of them, right?
It gives them to 2.
Oh, 2 random pairs. Yeah. Should I do it?
Yeah.
Elephant and the badger.
That's not bad.
I've got 3 gold left.
Okay, roll. Roll again. Okay, save the elephant. We'll freeze it. You've got another gold, haven't you?
Yeah, 1 gold left.
Yeah. Infinitely rolling here is probably not the greatest play, but I think it makes sense for now.
Yeah.
Up until we have something worth selling.
Ooh, double garlic.
Save one of those garlics, I think. And maybe save a swan. Swan's going to be good for our economy later, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get much stronger, but that's fine. Okay, this is good. That's a good hit. Oh no. Interesting.
That ain't good.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay. We could do with... Okay.
Shit.
No. Okay.
A fucking ball.
Yeah. And the dolphin didn't help us out there either.
No.
So we need to sell the badger instantaneously.
Get him out.
Buy the elephant and combine. Garlic the pufferfish. Dodo behind the peacock. This is a full mix them up. How much gold do we have left?
2 gold left.
2 gold left. Roll once. Sell the mosquito and buy the snail.
Ooh. Want me to save the salad bowl all or?
Nah,
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so. this is a rough team. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Big. Okay. This is where the pufferfish is actually going to be our worst enemy
Yeah.
because it's. No, it's not
It's
too bad.
doing work though.
Actually, no. This is great. This is great. Pufferfish actually.
We
Clutch.
win.
Yeah, huge.
We got tier 4.
Nice. Okay. So we can sell the snail.
Europe.
Let's unfreeze the swan for now. I don't think we need to add it in. It's taking up a valuable slot now that we've got tier 4 unlocked.
Yeah.
Now we can roll. Elephant. Elephant is a big play.
Oh, we got a scorpion.
Scorpion is also really good. Freeze the scorpion for now.
We got 7 gold left.
Okay. I really want to look a gift horse in the mouth. I think maybe pair the. Actually, no, roll. Let's roll.
Ooh, another elephant.
Okay. I think we buy the elephant.
Am I combining or putting it in the last slot?
Yes, yeah, combine. And then,
Shit.
and then,
Well, there
that's
we go.
fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. And then put the scorpion up in the front.
At the
and then-
very front.
Yeah. And then, save the snail. Just on the off chance that we lose.
Okay.
Okay. Luckily, this is fine.
Yeah. Hippo's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Baboosh.
Huge. Yeah.
Come
Massive.
on.
5 wins. Okay, we're moving.
We're smoothing.
Okay, unfreeze the snail. Then we're gonna roll.
We're getting so many elephants.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think we. Yeah, but what does it even do for us?
Does it say?
It will just do that hurt. Do the hurt trigger for 3. 3 behind it. I think. Yeah, I think we buy it.
Okay.
How much gold do we have left?
6.
Okay. Roll one more time. Save the snail. Roll again. Roll it one more time. And then we'll probably have to consider doing something with this.
Okay.
Yeah, buy a salad, I think. And just hope it hits the...
Scorpion
Elephant.
and the... No, I got the scorpion and the peacock.
Okay. It's not too bad. Yeah, I think that's all we want for now.
Yep.
We just want to basically get a level 3 elephant, ideally. I
Okay.
think. And then try and have something that triggers a hurt trigger.
Oh. So these people, these things I'm playing against, are they actual people or? Yeah, they
actual,
are. Oh,
actual,
I thought it was
actual,
I thought it were NPC, like computer.
actual people made these teams.
Oh, okay.
You're not playing like live, so this person isn't seeing this battle basically.
Right. Okay.
It's stored their data for their team.
Elephant.
Wow, that's actually ridiculous. Yeah, do it.
I've never seen a fly before.
Fly is very interesting. I don't think it fits in this build, so I
I mean,
wouldn't worry.
shall I unfreeze the snail?
Yes, yeah, for now. Okay. Just check what the elephant thing does again.
Deals 1 damage to 3 people.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll gradually kill our dodo, which is less than ideal. Freeze a can. That's what I'd recommend. And then roll. Oh, baby, that's nutty. No, it's not. Roll me more.
Oh my god.
3 spiders. Jesus Christ.
Hey, I already have a computer like built
no,
and
I
ready.
think we
I'm
roll.
just trying to save funds.
How much gold do we have?
We have 5 at the minute.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can afford a roll here. Yeah, we probably roll again. And then if we don't see anything we like, we can. Ooh, that just became interesting.
Yeah, I have a computer like pre-built ready. I'm just saving up money so I can actually get it.
Okay. Sell the dodo.
Selling the dodo.
Buy the cow.
Buying the cow.
And then what makes most sense?
This is free.
Yeah, use the milk on probably the puffer fish. Maybe. I don't know if that's probably a really garbage suggestion, but it probably means we get more procs on the damage. So yeah, use the other one on the puffer fish as well.
Okay. We've got 1 gold left.
Roll in that case.
Kabushka. Oh my god, I'm freezing the elephant. Or is 3 the max level?
3's the max level.
Oh, okay.
So freeze the puffer fish and the chocolate.
The chocolate.
Because then we can get level 2 puffer fish.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, do that. Could maybe have frozen the penguin, but it's hard to. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my
Probably
god.
fine. Oh dear. we desperately lose to this team. Yeah, this is gross.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
What the hell's the cat do?
The cat doubles food buffs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We're gonna need to start stepping up pretty quickly.
Okay.
So we need to sell the cow. Combine the pufferfish and get the chocolate on the pufferfish.
There we go. Got 5
So
gold left.
Okay. Then we buy a cow. And we do the same on the pufferfish.
Put them both on.
Yep.
I got 2 gold left.
Okay. Roll probably. Is it? Do you, maybe freeze the? No, sorry, stream delay.
Oh no, sorry.
Freeze the chocolate. And let's just don't think this team is scaling fast enough. Roll another time.
Ooh, another pufferfish.
And some scaling. Freeze the monkey and the pufferfish.
Yerp.
Yeah. We still got 2 lives left, right?
Yeah, 2 lives.
Okay, we've got a little bit wiggle room. Let's just hope we've got someone who's insane and puts their big buff unit at the front. I see. That did not happen. We lose to this team. We desperately lose to this team.
Wah.
Okay. Yeah. We need that turkey dead, ideally.
Yeah.
Ugh,
My
jeez.
god, these flies!
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shock is getting ridiculously buff.
Yeah. Okay. It might be too late for this build, mate.
It's
We
fine.
might be dead. Sell the cow and sell the peacock. We're going full send on this.
Okay.
Buy the monkey. Think.
Hmm.
Put the pufferfish in the put the elephant in the front spot. Oh, this just means we're gonna kill our fucking. Yeah, that's fine. Then buy another pufferfish and put it next to our pufferfish. So don't
Yes.
combine. Roll again.
Ooh, a gorilla.
How much gold do we have?
5 gold.
Oh god.
5
Okay.
horse macaroons.
Okay, I've decided something different.
Okay.
Sell the monkey and use 2 chocolates on the level 1 pufferfish.
Love it.
And then put the move the scorpion into the first position.
Okay.
This team loses, by the way, but it's a very stupid team.
Okay, that's fine. I'm down for it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sweet lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh no.
Ouch.
Yeah, we did alright against that team. I think.
Yeah, we did decent.
Right. I might have to shoot off.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna have to finish now anyway.
Yeah, that was really fun though. I'm glad you're in the Super Auto Pets vibe.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we'll have to get on and do some games sometime.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely gonna be playing it again because I've enjoyed that. Been playing it for 4 hours. So.
Holy shit, dude. He's in deep.
Oh, I'm deep in the
Nice.
sauce.
He's so deep. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
I will catch you very soon.
Yes, I will catch you later.
Safety, boy.
Bye. All right, chat. That is going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You've all been super cool, super nice. Like I said, if you're wanting to help out with the PC, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to. That's why that link's there. It's for people who feel like they want to. But I already have a PC build set up ready. I'm just saving up the funds to actually buy it. But chat, thank you for watching today. I appreciate it. You've all been super cool, super nice. We'll be back live again Maybe later tonight. Maybe. For Destiny. Might get some Destiny in tonight. I don't know. If not, I'll try and get live tomorrow. But then if not, Thursday. So keep an eye on Twitter to find out when I'll be going live. Exclamation point. Social. For all of my social medias. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. I love your faces. And I'll see you all next time.